Everybody, hello, hello. It is Thursday. We're playing GHOSTPIA today. So the last time I thought we'd finished the game. I thought we finished the game. But the last time we played it was in October, like October 3rd. We have the last chapter, so it'll probably be like an hour and a half to maybe 2.5 hour stream. We'll see. I don't know how long this chapter is going to be. Um, and feel really bad because last time we played it was in October. So since then we've got a bunch of new people, and they're gonna have no idea what's going on. So I apologize in advance. It's just gonna be it's a visual novel, and it does have violent scenes and does have flashing colors and lights and stuff. So if you have epilepsy warning, just heads up. Hi Thor, congrats on being first dear. Mwah. Hope you're doing okay. Hi, Amori, aka Shmori. Hello, dear. Hello, hello. How are you? Good to see you. Hope you've been well. We're playing Ghostpia today. I do have to use the display capture, so it'll be a bit scuffed. It'll be a bit scuffed. But yeah, just a heads up warning. This game does have violent scenes and flashing lights and colors, so watch at your own discretion. But we're playing the final chapter of Ghostpia. It's been a long time, almost a year. Um, yeah, almost a year. You're being chilling. I don't know when you follow, but it seems cozy to you. I'm alright. Apparently, I think it was January 24th. Um, I don't know what day that was or what I was playing. But January. Violence? Okay. There's also very cute girls in this game. Okay. Cute anime girls. All right, here we go. Hopefully the volume's okay. Um, yeah, yeah. So if you want to go back and figure out what the heck happened earlier in this game, I do have all the Ghostpia VODs, stream VODs from last year in a playlist on the YouTube channel, or you could go play the demo on Steam. I think the game's on sale right now for like 15 bucks. It's worth it. It's such a good game. Wish more people were talking about it, but it's really good. Anyway, it's a visual novel, so it's just gonna be me talking a lot. Easier to meet people on Twitch. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, here we go. I'm gonna make sure it's capturing okay. All right. Played a lot of those. Okay, so we played episode 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we have 5. Super beautiful. This is the only one I've ever played. We played this. I played the demo on stream during like a Steam Next Fest thing. And yeah, the demo is like 2.5 hours of content. So if you're bored one afternoon or evening, play the demo. It's totally worth it. It's the first 2 episodes. All right, here we go. Don't spoil yourself. Understandable, Amori. Understandable. Understandable. Thank you for the alert. Thank you. I've been waiting in this empty town. Always waiting. Waiting for that certain someone. I've got work again today. I have to earn money. Money is an absolute necessity for any journey. But even without travel expenses, it's hard for ordinary citizens to survive. So I work in order to prevent myself from doing something stupid like dying of starvation as I wait. I work in an office in the corner of a government building that looks like a giant tombstone. As the noon bell rings, I leave the town hall under the pretense of taking a lunch break. As soon as I'm outside, I find a garbage can. Or maybe it's a plant pot. I'm not sure. Either way, there's an envelope attached to it, which I retrieve before heading back to town hall with a nonchalant look on my face. On the way back, I visit a seedy cafe that's definitely not to my taste. I simply chose this place because it's busy. This is where I meet him. He's an acquaintance of mine and a regular at this cafe. We chat. Closer than strangers, but not quite friends. His hobby is sketching landscapes, so he often shows me his sketchbook. I pick it up. The paper in the sketchbook is quite high quality considering how all of the nation's resources are currently being funneled into the war effort. I flip through the pages and glance through them. Sometimes I give feedback if any sketches interest me. I turn the sketchbook after casually slipping in the envelope I retrieved at noon between its pages. Nobody notices. The cafe's dim, and it reeks of alcohol. He pretends not to notice either as he takes his sketchbook back. Apparently this is how revolutionaries or whatever operate in this country where political power is overly concentrated. Though it's not like I've got any interest at all in revolution. Are you sure you don't want to leave this town? I'm sure you can go anywhere you want. There's no need for you to share your destiny with a town like this. You've got the freedom, don't you? The man speaks. In my opinion, he seems to have way more freedom than I do. I give him a vague smile as I get out of my seat. He's a few years younger than me. He's young and charming, yet he doesn't try to use his power for himself. That said, I was younger than him when I started waiting for that certain someone, wasn't I? And thus, another day comes to a close. I head back home. The salary is a pittance, so I am earning slowly, but surely. The ordinary days continue. Work. Break. Envelope. Even after I've gotten used to retrieving this envelope, I'm still too nervous to eat my bread. Cafe. Talk with him. He's been looking pale lately. This continues forever. Before I know it, the seasons have changed. But is it a different season in the same year, or a different season in a different year now? When I reach out to retrieve the envelope, someone grabs my hand. The secret police. I've never seen them before, but I recognize them immediately. A gunshot. The secret police falls. It's him holding the gun. Not the person I'm waiting for, but him. I take his hand. We jump onto a train and watch as the townscape fades into the distance. And then a bomb drops. Onto the town where that certain someone was supposed to come home to. I let out a vague laugh. Okay. Interesting. We're getting the lore. Why there's a missile in the middle of the town square. When the image fades out and the credits start rolling, I remember that this was a war movie. The buzzer rings and we slowly get up from our seats. My brain still feels numb. That was a straightforward plot, huh? The actors were fairly good, but so it was worth a watch. The cinematography was beautiful too. They chose good filming locations. I think I get what you're trying to say, but but it was still boring as a movie. What do you think, Sayoko? Well, I kind of spaced out, so... Wait, where's Yoru? Oh my, she's asleep. That girl, she must have been that bored. And I agree with her. Hey, don't say that bluntly. So it wasn't lore, it was a movie. It wasn't an interesting movie, was it? I absent-mindedly watch as Pacifica tries to wake up Yoru. Pacifica's the girl in the white coat. Yoru is the girl with blue hair. There's an old movie theater on the edge of an amusement park on the outskirts of town. That's where we are right now. Inside a dim box lined with dense carpet drenched in the smell of popcorn. It's the kind of place I just forget about until someone mentions it, but it looks like it still gets some business. It's the last screening of the day, and yet half the seats were full. It's mostly elderly ghosts, but there are a few young ghosts, too. There's a group of girls around our age. They cheerfully leave their seats as they share their opinions of the movie. The noisiness would normally disrupt the pleasant aftertaste you feel after watching a movie, but it also reminds me that there are girls like that even among the ghosts in this town. I guess you can find girls like that everywhere. I don't really mind since I wasn't too invested in that movie anyway, but if I were invested in it, I'd want to grab them by the backs of the necks and hurl them out the theater. I started to think about how I'd catch them all without letting any of them escape, but I stopped myself. That's not what we're here for today. We didn't come here to watch the movie. We came here to see a certain someone. As for why we watched the movie anyway, I guess it was to kill time as we wait for this person's shift to end. In any case, the movie is not the main reason why we're here. We're here to see the movie projectionist. This projectionist is, according to Anya, the most lit engineer in town. Since they're both engineers, it makes sense they'd know each other. I think it's weird for the most lit engineer in town to work as a movie projectionist, but I guess there's not necessarily a correlation between that, what you're good at, and what you do for a living. In any case, Anya suggested that this lit engineer could help us achieve our dearest wish of breaking through the snow desert and searching beyond, maybe even discover my home country, which may or may not exist. Ever since Yoru arrived, we've been a little distracted with job searching and fighting against the church. But now that things seem to be calming down, we've decided to resume our activities. You could probably say that we're at peace. Astonishingly enough, whenever I walk around town lately, people greet not just Yoru, but me as well. I'm starting to remember the faces and names of more and more ghosts, and I can even call a few of them by my acquaintances now. Though, obviously, I'm a little more cautious about people suddenly opening up to me, with the whole Renja thing and all. Oh, speaking of Renja, she was apparently both an influential manufacturer and broker of this one town's guilty pleasures. So Pacifica praised me for my accomplishment of cleaning up the town. Hi, Amakua. Mwah. Hi, dear. Hope you're doing okay. This whole progression of events has brought me out of my comfort zone for sure, but I'm still glad about how things have turned out. I need to remember to thank Anya for properly setting things up today. That's what I think to myself as we try to deal with Yoru as she cozily mumbles in her sleep. You have toast? Nice. By the time we head into the movie theater lobby, it's deathly quiet. There's not a soul talking, and the carpet even muffles the sound of footsteps. It feels like my ears have been plugged, as if all sounds have been blotted out. It looks like all the other moviegoers are already movie gone. There's somebody in the box office, and the concession stand's lights are off too. Or there's nobody in the box office. Excuse me. We're the only ones in the movie theater. Actually, scratch that. There's probably still people behind the scenes, but it's an odd feeling being alone in a place that's usually bustling with people. It feels both exciting and dangerous. It gives the place a fresh charm. It's like a school building at night. Take a deep breath and let my imagination run wild. Behind the shut doors to the theater at our backs, they're showing a real movie to their real clients. Whenever we're not around, they do something real that we don't get to see. Our idea of common sense is a sham. The real world happens behind these walls where we go out about our days blissfully unaware. I feel my nose prick up as shivers rise up my spine. My palms break out into a cold sweat. Hope you're doing okay, Amakua. We're finishing GHOSTPIA. I thought I finished it last year, but we still have the last chapter or last episode left. So, yeah, if this at all seems interesting to you, please leave a lurk and go play the demo. The demo is the first 2 episodes. It's like 2.5 hours of content. This is a really good game, and I wish people talked about it more, because it's really good. I've been entranced by the charm of the movie theater. Sayoko? Anya's voice snaps me back to my senses. We're gonna meet up at the rear entrance. That's where the employees leave from. Oh, okay, let's go. When we leave the lobby, I look over my shoulder one more time. Pacifica asks if I've forgotten anything, but I frantically shake my head. Why did I look back? Do I just like movie theaters? Do I have some sort of special memory at the movie theater? Whoa, that's different. That was a different transition. We wait outside the theater, in front of what appears to be the staff entrance. As we wait, the lights shut off on the movie theater signboard, and the employees start leaving at intervals. They all look startled when they see us. I mean, I guess I might look at a place for a group of girls to wait by the staff entrance of a movie theater after hours. Each time a new ghost comes out of the door, the 3 of us look at Anya. And each time, Anya wordlessly shakes her head. Is that the one? Nope. That must have happened at least 10 times. A smallish man appears from behind the door. He's short, thin, has the same red hair as Anya, but his skin is literally pure white, which only makes his hair seem all the more vivid. He's a delicate young man who looks like he's never won a single arm wrestling match. None of the other employees had this much trouble opening the door. He makes it look like it's as heavy and as sturdy as the door to a bank vault. I can't help but hope it's not him. I don't know what it is about him, but he just seems obnoxious. The 3 of us look at Anya at the same time. I can't speak for anyone else, but my eyes say something like, "It's not him, is it?" Instead of answering us, Anya calls out to the man, with a somewhat surprisingly cheerful voice. Yo, Alec, you're as huge as ever today, twice as big as yesterday. Lol, nice one, I'm bigger than you, though. I can hear Pacifica taking a deep breath beside me. When I turn her way, I can see her taking a step forward and speak up with a customer service smile plastered onto her face. Nice to meet you. You must be Alec. I'm Pacifica. We heard about you from Anya, so we came here to meet you. Thank you for sparing us your precious time after work. I brought you some sweets from my friend's store. They're delicious, so try some if you'd like. I can smell a sweet scent coming from the paper bag in Pacifica's hand, from all the way over here. And yet, might as well be poop in that bag, the way Alec goes, ugh, and ugh, as he reluctantly picks it up. Yeah, he's obnoxious. I hope you find them to your liking, Alec. Alec lets out a dry laugh. I can tell his forehead's sweaty despite the frigid temperature. Alec trembles and mumbles as he talks. I've got a bad feeling about this. My Lady Pacifica, I'm shocked you would call me my nickname upon our first meeting. You truly are a lady with the accomplishments of 10 and the connections of 100. I'm the kind of guy who's shocked when a stranger calls me a nickname, but doesn't even faze you, huh? That's amazing. Pacifica lets out a groan. Alec is short for Alexi? That's his name. I guess I should have made that clear, huh? Awkward silence. Everyone present is uncomfortable. Nice to meet you, Mr. Alexi. You can call me Yoru. And that's Sayoko over there. She's a ninja. Oh, and I'm the doctor at the psychiatry stand. My hobby is doing this and that with Sayoko. What do you like to do, Mr. Alexei? I've heard the rumors, Doc. It's probably obvious to you that my mental state is in shambles, but please don't get on my case. I can't be healed. And for hobbies, I've got none. I'm just a boring man. Hero shrieks. I hear you excel engineering, isn't that right, Anya? This guy's a genius, I guarantee it. That's a lie. There's tons of randos out there as good as me. I'm just the closest one within your reach, right, Anya? Whenever I look at this Alexei guy, I get a strange, irritable feeling. Yeah, the way he speaks is obnoxious, but somehow even his looks are the visual equivalent of nails on chalkboard. Sayoko, this guy seems like he's in serious need of some counseling. I completely agree with you. Yura deals with a lot of patients like this. They all look older than their age, but act younger than their age. And the dissonance between their appearances and their behavior irritates everyone around them. These people fuss over even the most trivial of mistakes, and even if you do something good for them, they don't appreciate it. In fact, they even find some way to berate you. They can't control their own nature, so the ones that come to Euro for help are the ones that at least recognize they can't control themselves. When I see them, it makes me wonder if I'm like that too. I mean, they don't even notice their own accursed disposition. They don't understand themselves. If you're lucky, you might find one who thinks something's weird about themselves, but that's it. In other words, I might be like them and I just don't know it. That would suck. I wouldn't want others to think of me like that. Even thinking like this makes me feel like I'm putting myself a step above them. Even thinking about thinking like that feels disgusting. I'm just not good with these sorts of people, and I haven't even spoken a word to him. Damn it. It always ends up like this. Everyone's disgusted whenever I talk. I'm trying to be a nice guy here, but I just don't get it. This sucks. Damn it. Let's just get to business already. Say, why don't we go to a cafe to talk instead of talking outside? Nah, I'm good. An otaku like me would disintegrate in a cafe. Otaku. That's another archaic word he's used. It refers to someone who would rather be alone with machines, games, or comics than interact with other people. The term otaku originated in my home country, but it's not a race or a clan or anything. It's an ideology. I suppose you could say that otaku are people of culture. In that case, let's talk here. I heard you can help us. That's right, Lexi. I'm sure we've talked about this before, but I want your expert advice to help us reach a breakthrough that I can't reach with my skill alone. You'd ask for help from a smelly otaku like me? I'm flattered. It might be hard to believe, but I do want to help you ladies out, if I can, that is. Whoa, thanks, Alec. But you see, I'm a little preoccupied. Basically, I need to finish my current research project first. Yeah. How long will this research project take? I don't know. Do you have a rough estimate, at least? It'll take a long time, I can tell you that, but I don't want to pretend I know something I don't. That's why I said, I don't know. You can't hurry it up just a teensy bit? You could also multitask. As if we otaku are traditionally single-taskers. This news to me. Why are you in such a hurry? We ghosts have an infinite amount of time. If waiting will solve a problem, why not just wait? If you can't wait, you can just ask someone else. IMHO. Don't expect so much from me. Alexei mumbles something under his breath as he locks the staff entrance behind him. Ah! Suddenly, Alexei lets out a voice as if he just relayed something. What's wrong? It's nothing. Whenever I ask someone a favor, it never turns out pretty. Just say it already. Wow! Begone, evil spirit! Begone! Alexei tinkers with his washer, and suddenly a thin blue membrane expands around him, knocking Pacifica back. What's the bigger idea? Don't spook me like that. You're the one who spooked me. What's with this bubbly thing? It's my portable otaku guard. Pog! Serves you right. You won't find this much strength in this small a size anywhere else. Yoro whispers, this is starting to get kind of exciting. I nod back. I can certainly see why Anya places so much confidence in Alexei's engineering skill. And that's what I think to myself as Yoro secretly gets pumped up. She does have a taste for weird things, after all. Shut it off this instant. No, you'll just get mad at me. How can you tell I'll get mad? Because I'm gross. Females have always thought that I'm gross, so I can tell you you'll be mad with, even without you having to say anything. You can't just judge total strangers because they're women. That's exactly why they hate you. Pacifica picks up a shovel off the ground and charges it at the, what was it called again? That portable otaku guard. I want one. That was Yoru. Anyway, Pacifica starts hammering away at the barrier with a shovel. Each time she hits it, it lets out an unpleasant low-frequency sound wave, and eventually, the barrier's outline starts to fade away. Stop! The thing's power output is still unstable! Hey, Alexei. What? Even if you made a shitload of bad first impressions with women, this is low, even for you. That's just how hopeless I am. You of all people should know that. Hey, no need for the attitude, you know? Are you stupid? Look, I'm an otaku, and whether an otaku talks to a female, he just wants to die. That's how we're built. I don't know if you can even imagine this, but I feel so sick right now. Hi, Chang. Hi, dear. I'm a woman too, you know. Anyway, you just had an idea of how to speed things up, didn't you? Out with it. You shouldn't keep it to yourself even if you think you should. Damn it. So, I was thinking you could help me finish my research. My research has hit a deadlock, see? That's okay, Chang. Thank you for the alert, dear. Thank you. That's why I said it'd take time. But if you helped me, I'll speed things up. I'm almost certain of it. But who would want to help someone like me? Don't beat yourself up like that. Why wouldn't we help you? Anya's unusually talkative, and Mr. Alexei seems to be somewhat open with her. It's a refreshing contrast. Anya's usually the passive one, so she almost seems like a different person. Mr. Alexei turns off his pog and falls silent. He just needs to tell us his thoughts. So why does he need so much time to concentrate? Though I guess it's unfair for me to think like that, since I'm with friends and we outnumber him. Even if I were in Mr. Alexei's shoes, I'm sure I'd hesitate to speak my thoughts, too. He's probably cursing himself for letting out that "ah" earlier. Even I'm starting to feel uncomfortable. I hate this. Pacifica? It's not until I say that I realize I had even opened up my mouth. The words just start flowing out by themselves. We could just let Mr. Alexei think things through and get his answer on a later date, can't we? I see, says Pacifica as she... Hold on. I see, says Pacifica as she folds her arms in consideration. Oh, okay. Sorry. This took me a second. I'm sorry, Anya, but can I ask... Can you ask him again tomorrow or some other day? Oh, I don't mind. If Anya's going, then I've got no objections. We chat for a bit more while we settle on Anya coming back the same time tomorrow to hear his answer. Ugh, I'm not used to this sort of stuff. It particularly pains my heart to make Anya ask for me. Okay, that'll be it for today. Thank you for giving us some of your time after work. And with that, I turn around and take a step back towards town. Hey, wait. Oh, what is it? If you have more to say. Mr. Alexei firmly interrupts the Fed at Pacifica. Not you. The ninja. Can I help you? Were you trying to patronize me? When I turn around, Mr. Alexei takes a step towards me, sensing the unrest in the air. Anya clicks her tongue. Not at all. When people patronize me like that, it just makes me feel all the more ridiculed. I think so too, which is why I'm not going to look out. Which is why I'm not trying to look out for you. I'm just cold and want to go home. You're just saying that as an excuse so your friends will praise you later and you can feel good about yourself, aren't you? That disgusts me. Mr. Alexei's face is fully flushed. He's taking heavy breaths in and out, wheezing hard. Your next line is, I totally get how you feel, isn't it? Yeah, I do get how you feel. I also kind of get why you'd get aggressive about it, too. It's exactly because I get it that I get... It's exactly because I get it that I get that I shouldn't say I get it. I get it. So if we flip things around, you're saying that... So if we flip things around, you're saying that you get how I feel then, right? Please stop. You think you know anything about me? Disgusting. Ugh! Mr. Alexei lets out a weird sort of groan, but he's smiling. Savage AF! I don't know what savage AF means, but Alexei chuckles after he says it. You don't have many friends, do you? Maybe not. Anyone without many friends is a friend in my book. What? That's my personal theory. Fine, I'll show you the goods. Come with me to my lab. This time, Mr. Alexei turns his back to us and trots off. His shoulders shiver, and after a few steps, he stumbles. Yuro gives me a smile and a thumbs up. That guy's a pain. I agree with Pacifica's grumble in the silence of my heart, as Anya helps Mr. Alexei get up and we follow behind. OP time! Oh, my eyes itchy. If you weren't expecting much from my lap, then... Hurry it up already. We're standing in front of Mr. Alexei's house. From the outside, it looks less like a lab and more like a bougie villa. Since it's located close to the amusement park, perhaps it was indeed originally meant to be an expensive vacation home. But, fine. Never mind. Sorry. Mr. Alexei almost looks tearful as he holds out his hand. As he holds his hand out to the needlessly huge keyhole. The moment I wonder if he left his door unlocked, I hear an electronic sound followed by the gathunk of a heavy lock turning. Whoa! Was that a biometric lock? Nah, you can't trust something as easily fakeable as vein recognition. Simple as best, so I just implanted a chip in my hand. It's pretty convenient. I've never forgotten my hand at work. That's fair. And you can't exactly steal a limb without lopping it off. You hear that? Alec's a genius, right? He's treading a fine line, though. Whoa! The door opens. The lights turn on automatically, and a moment later, the air in the room gets pleasantly warm. I guess the heater turned on. Alright, give me a second. I'm going to adjust my location on the screen here so you can actually see who's talking. Thank you for contributing to the community challenge. Cheng, thank you. I'm just going to adjust my location to this corner instead. There will be an activate windows in the corner. I apologize. I'm sure It'll bother somebody. But it's there in the corner. I'm sorry, but this way you can actually see who's talking in the corner. Yeah, I'll be over here for now. I think maybe down here. Yeah, I'll be down here. Okay. Whoops. I gotta turn the display capture back on. There we go. Okay. We stand in front of the entrance as we look at the interior of the room, which is just as showy as the exterior. This way. Sorry about the mess. What mess? This place is so clean and stylish, you'd expect a gentle housewife and boisterous children to come out greet the man of the house. It's such a stark contrast to the image of the homeowner. What a nice house, huh, Sayoko? If only our place had this much space. Do you live alone, Mr. Alexei? You two are pretty much the only ghosts who live together. Everyone else lives alone. Oh, I didn't know that. This is my workshop, and... Ah, damn it, I knew it! Why must you do this to me, God? The workshop is what appears to be a remodeled kitchen and dining room. Unlike the rest of the house's beautiful interior, it's only the disorderly area. Mr. Alexei quickly runs to what was most likely a dining table that's been remodeled into a large work desk. Just how much has gone back today? I'm left wondering what he's talking about as he starts screaming at the ceiling. Ah! I was 1 step forward and 3 steps back. Oh, sorry. Ah, it's 1 step forward and 3 steps back. Way too much has been disappearing lately. No, don't tell me. Not the bolts, too! It's just a jumbled mess now. Mr. Alexei laments as he rummages through what appears to be a pile of parts left on the work desk. The macho looks okay, but where's the cable? Is that gone too? How could this happen? FML. So what exactly are you making? Isn't it obvious? How is any of it obvious? Okay, what if I did this? Mr. Alexei strikes a few keys on a nearby computer keyboard. Whoa! A translucent woman's head starts floating mid-air. The spectacle has so much impact. I unconsciously pull out a gun and just barely manage to stop myself from pulling the trigger. Calm your tits, it's just a hologram. A 3D projection. What is this? She's what I want to show you today. We all fall silent for a moment as if to search through our memories. That head does seem familiar. A girl with a faint smile. She's not fully grown up, but if you still stare at her for long, you'll get glimpses of a mature woman. Something about her seems to hide some inner darkness. Have I seen this ghost somewhere before? I can't say since I don't have many female friends. She's attractive at the very least. She's pleasant to look at. Oh, the movie! She was in the movie! That's correct. Those words permeate into my head the way the sweetness of a rock candy permeates into your mouth when you're tired. It's like I've been waiting for it. But on the other hand, I've got a bad feeling about this. Was the girl in the movie his project? Isn't she wonderful? I mean, I guess. But she's only in the movies, right? Indeed. She's nothing more than an image caught on film. She has no substance. In other words, she's just an illusion. But what if I could make her real? Wait, so Alec, you're trying to make this chick? No. That's not it at all, Anya. Whoops. Good. I thought you'd gone way off the deep end for a second. I'm just deploying her into this shitty world. Oh boy. What do you mean by deploy? He means make, but with a fancier word. Not at all! I thought all the shitty women in this town, at least you'd get me. The maker would be so to simply create something in her image that would act like her. But what's the point in that? Yeah, what would be the point in that? What I want is to ascertain each and every one of her functions, either abstractly or concretely, and to deploy her into this world. Not just in spirit, but in body too. That's what this project of mine entails. And then what? Live with her, obviously. You see it all the time in anime, don't you? Every day she'll wake me up, eat meals with me, and welcome me home. And sometimes we might argue, but I'm sure she'll enrich my life overall. Different gasps at Mr. Alexei. No, let's just call him Alexei. He's lost my respect. I'm thinking she'll be like a maid living under my roof. I've got godly tastes, don't I? I've even drawn clothing designs. I'd love to get some females' opinions on them. Long skirts are the best, aren't they? I'll bring up the designs. And with that, Alexei starts typing away at the keyboard, but Anya frantically stops him. Well, whatever. I'm sure you've all come to understand the loftiness of this project goals, but oh my goodness. That voice scratches my throat. I'm sure we all come to understand it was a mistake to come here. Anya suddenly groans in pain. Pacifica's pinching her butt. I look at Yoro figuring she'd enjoy saying something like that, but she's instead looking at Alexei with a sidelong glance. It seems she didn't hear Anya. Well, in any case, I totally understand how Pacifica's feeling right now, so I won't stop her. So I need to drink some water. So, I'm not sure there's anything we can do to help you out with this project of yours. That's right. Sorry, but I'm no good with technical things. You can take Anya off our hands, so go ahead and use her however you please with the rest of her life. For the rest of her life. Hey! You don't need any technical literacy. You don't even need any literal literacy. My request for you is simple. You just need to follow my directions. With luck, we should be done in no time, and I can start tackling your request. I'll even do it free of charge if you help me out. That's just how valuable your cooperation is to me. This is starting to sound suspicious, but fine. So, what exactly do we need to do? You ladies just need to look carefully and closely at both my work and at her. Strategy meeting! We would like to request some thinking time. Approved! At Pacifica's command, we all gather in a corner of the room. I'm sorry, guys, for, everything. That guy's messed up in the head! Boy, what he's doing is incredible. Yeah, he's always like that. Nobody can keep up with him in more ways than one. But then, his engineering skills are the toppest of the top notch. He can single-handedly do stuff that I couldn't do even if there were 9,999 of me. So you do something that gross if there were 9,999 of you, huh? No, I don't think I'd ever do anything that gross, no matter how many of me there were. He's certainly an eccentric, huh? JSYK, I can hear you. FML. Say, Alexei, what do you mean when you say you want us to watch you? It's not like you want us to make sure you don't fall asleep at work or anything, right? Well... Alexei's eyes sparkle. The sparkle of a prideful engineer. but it's probably for the same reason as when he went off earlier. We all can't help but put our guards up. Ghost capacity. That's just what I like to call it. But you know what I'm talking about, right? There's a limit to how many things we ghosts can have. Once things go back to the garbage dump, you have to pick them up again. Yeah, of course we know that. The hole in the ghost pocket. Isn't it called the bottomless ghost bag? Is it? Well, things may disappear. They should last for a while as long as they're placed within your territory, and you keep their existence in the back of your mind. Both Pacifica and Anya nod. I nod too, due to peer pressure before realizing, oh yeah, that's right. With the exception of the bare minimum, my belongings quickly disappear too. Alexei makes it sound like you're guaranteed a certain extent of possessions, but it feels a little different in my experience. I think the reason these things feel more natural to me lately is that now Yoru's moved in. Now that Yoru's moved in, we share our belongings. Also, now that I've figured out gunshot wounds and other injuries count as belongings, I've actually been finding it pretty convenient sometimes. I've never paid any special attention to it before either. Never, ever. Not even once. However... Pacifica lets out an agonized groan when Alexei screeches mid-speech. She's too detailed. The sheer volume of information necessary to imitate God's creation of man is far too much for our ghostly bodies, it seems. Huh. Alexei casually picks up a part off the scattered heap on the work desk. His eyes seem filled with a deep sadness. No matter how I assemble her parts, no matter how I code her presentation program, parts of her disappear if I take my eyes off her, even for a second. It's probably random what parts disappear. The bolts and the entire skeletal structure disappeared this time, so she's incomplete and I can't show her body to you ladies. FML. Alexei explains in an oddly dramatic tone, but I can feel his calm enthusiasm as he tries to convey the objective truth. We're not normal. We weren't humans that lived. We only call ourselves ghosts for convenience. We don't actually know what we are. If you ignore the fact that we've been excluded from the phenomenon known as death, then it certainly seems natural to call us ghosts. After all, we can't survive in sunlight. Intuitively, that makes sense. It makes sense to think of us as ghosts, or at least ghostly. Our volume exceeds my capacity as a container, so I just need to prepare a new container. Perhaps she can be contained if there are more ghosts to perceive her. But when you mix in the fact that there's a limit to what we can possess, that intuitively starts to falter. So once again, my request is that you ladies watch as I assemble her. I'd prefer if you slept in shifts. That's all you need to do. You wouldn't ask storage to do computations, right? For how long? It probably won't be done in a single day. You'll need to take a few days off from your jobs, that's for sure. Even if we're not ghosts, we're some sort of ghostly creatures. I'm sure the others aren't scared, though. I mean, might be scared of ourselves. We're not here to prosper. We're not here to expand. We're just here to exist. This won't have any negative effects on our bodies, will it? I'm a little scared. That's why I ask an odd question. I want to distract myself with some talking. There may be some negative effects, I will admit. If you're scared, just sleep through the whole thing. Alexei might not know this, but I've had that sort of experience before. I do feel it's somewhat difficult to acknowledge new things, but there's no point in telling him right now. That's not what Sayuko's saying. She's not scared of working with you. She's scared of you. She's looking for a reason to decline. I'm just telling the truth as close as I see it. Even if you're telling the truth, the tone, attitude, and syntax you use to tell it make all the difference, you know? You must have failed your public speaking classes. Just hearing the phrase public speaking classes feels like a punch to the gut. I'll do it. I don't know if I can do it well, but there's no harm in trying. Oh, you will? I'm in too. You've definitely gone off the deep end this time, Alec. But as a lowly engineer, I'm intrigued. See now? My presentation was flawless. These girls are just softies. I wouldn't pat myself on the back for that presentation if I were you. Anyway, since Anya trusts you, I intend to trust you too, but I don't trust you enough to take time off of work. Pacifica's talking to Alexei, but it sounds like she's actually just directing those words to us. Someone needs to watch out for danger outside while these girls are preoccupied. You also don't know if the church will try to pull something either. It seems like Pacifica's acting nonchalant to melt away my looming anxiety of being separated from her. Or maybe she isn't, and the world doesn't revolve around me. That'd be embarrassing. Thank you. Don't worry about it, we're just dividing the roles. Well, Yoro, looks like it's the three of us. I'm not in. Okay, for now we'll have to put out notices that you'll be break from. The Z button's not working. Oh, wait, what did you say? I feel a shock like being struck on the head. You'd think Yoro would be the first person to be excited by the sight of this stupid thing. Gotta drink some water. At first, I think Yoro's messing with me, but when I look into her eyes, I think she's serious. I said I'm not in. Why not? Because I don't want to do this. I'm utterly confused by Yoro's calm rejection. She's usually overly expressive, so when I see her say that without a single change in her facial expression, it instantly throws my mental stability off balance. What's wrong, Yoro? Does your stomach hurt? Excuse me. My bowel movements are perfectly regular. I see. Good for you. Would you prefer us not to ask why? Well, yeah, I guess. When I notice Yoro frown, it makes me feel a little bit of relief. And that's because it lets me know that she's not making this decision lightly, and that she does feel at least a little guilty. I know it's not healthy to be happy about Yoro feeling guilty, but I need to accept the fact that I'm the mean sort of person who would feel good about something like that. I think it'd be dangerous to set up shop by yourself. True, if you're not going to be around, then I'll take a break off of work. If you're going to take a break, then why not stay here with me? No, I don't want to. Sorry. Yoro makes that face she makes every now and then. No, it's okay. It's your decision, Yoro. I'm not good with these sorts of situations. I really should press her somewhere. So, what'll it be? Sayoko and Anya will stand watch. Yoro and I will pass. According to my calculations, 2 should be plenty. It's a deal. Sorry, I keep pressing the pause button. And thus, Anya and I end up helping the strange man named Alexei with his challenge. Sayoko? Good luck. Thanks. There's a lump of anxiety lodged in my chest, and I never pretended to know everything about her, but this still comes as a bit of an unpleasant surprise. Alexei truly is skilled at engineering, which is why I think he can help us further our goals once this is done. I'm also interested in Alexei's insights about ghosts. There's so much I'd like to ask him when we've got the time. At least that's what I keep telling myself as I try to find a way to justify my decision to take on this job. But the fact that I have to look for justifications is proof in and of itself that I'm unsure about this after all. I meet up with Anya in the same old plaza with the same old sights, minus our psychiatry stand. After all, we're closing up shop for the duration of my time at Alexei's. Yo, wait, Sayoko, where's your luggage? Anya asks as she carries a big bag. In my coat pockets, I've got a handkerchief and a gun. The bullets disappeared, so I'll have to make up for it by aiming real good. Oh, good luck with that. Wait, shouldn't you at least bring a change of clothes and a towel? I've been thinking. Huh? Is it really necessary to shower and change clothes? Talking poop? You're starting to sound like Yoru. You think so? Good thing Pacifica's not around. She'd be all like, Bargle gargle. Bargle gargle. Yeah, bargle gargle. We talk as we walk. It feels weird since I'd usually be working around this time. It's like going to a hospital instead of school when you're sick. It's especially weird since I only started working just recently. I guess I've adapted to worker life before I knew it. It was probably by a gradual day-by-day process. I recall my conversation with Alexei. I can feel my face heat up as I do so. Why did I act so proactively? I couldn't bear watching him. I wanted to do something to help, but was that just because I thought I was in a position to help? Help? Me of all people? With my social standing? I think those thoughts to myself as we approached the amusement park. We were here late last time, but it's operating hours right now, so there's cheerful music playing with decorative lights shining in the night sky. It's kind of extravagant by this town's standards. Anya, have you ever been to the amusement park? I ask. I've never been there myself. At least I don't think I have. Well, I've been there a number of times, but I didn't have much fun, though. Why not? The amusement park itself is fine, but the problem is the customers. Do they have bad manners? Well, it just feels like they're at the amusement park more to look like they're enjoying themselves, rather than to actually enjoy themselves. That's how it feels? Sends shivers down my spine. Shivers. Shivers my timbers. I see. I think I get you. It must be annoying to be surrounded by people like that, huh? It just feels like people like... It just feels like people like them look down on people like me. I don't want to be in the same place as them, you know? Anya speaks bitterly. I've never really thought about it, but I guess that sort of vague social hierarchy exists in this town too. Maybe as a foreigner, I'm just excluded from that pyramid entirely. Sorry if I asked something I shouldn't have. No, it's fine. Anyway, those people don't make sense when they talk. They're so damn boring. But I'm sure they find me so damn boring too. Anya gets her head back in the game and readjusts her bag that had started to slip off her shoulder. I'm not good with that whole female bonding thing, like going to bathrooms in groups and gossiping and stuff. Girls who can't get into that sort of stuff end up with no choice but to join groups of guys, don't they? They respond with a vague, It's been a long time, I think, since the last time we've talked about interhuman, or rather interghost relations. It makes my heart start to clench. But I suppose we can only really talk about this sort of thing when it's just the two of us. Anya and I keep talking about some somewhat complicated topics as we walk down the path. I'm so glad we can walk together like this. But when you join a group of guys, then you have to deal with romance and all that poop. So it'd be even poopier. So I'm glad I've got you girls. Anya says that with a smile. It's a somewhat awkward, forced smile, but it's kind of cute in its own way. It's almost devilish. It's an almost devilish smile. I could see why a group of guys wouldn't be able to leave her alone. I consider smiling back at her, but I'm so awestruck I decide not to. We pass the amusement park area and approach Oleski's house. It definitely feels like it's way too fancy of a house for Oleski to live in, though I suppose the fact that he lives in all by his lonesome does fit him. If Yoru were here, she might call this a sleepover. Oh yeah, Yoru. The more I think about her absence, the more depressed I get. I guess I just shouldn't think about it then. A sleepover, huh? I thought it's going to be something that fun. Do we just sit and watch? If I remember right, yeah. That guy doesn't lie, so I'm sure that's really all we need to do. It makes me feel kind of guilty that if that's really all we're going to do. I fidget and we stand at Oleski's front porch. At least we'll have lots of free time, you know? Anya rings the bell. Something starts rumbling inside the house. Then Oleski shrieks. I smile wryly. I'm sure he'll ask us to do something else sooner or later. I guess there's no point worrying about it. The art in this game is so cute. So basically, at this point, it's our third day at Oleski's house, and I haven't been asked to do anything else even once. I've just been watching. I watch as Oleski and Anya work on the project. Watch over the assembled parts with Anya while Oleski's away at work, and when Oleski gets back, I watch the machines and then sleep. I really just have been sitting and watching. I don't have to worry about anything since I don't have to do anything. This would probably be hell for the type of people who need to be moving constantly, but luckily, I'm an expert at doing nothing, so that's not agonizing for me. But for some reason, I feel like I've gained weight. Can ghosts even gain weight? I don't know. I kinda miss Euro and Pacifica. It's a little frustrating when your work and your pay doesn't seem to match. It's rough when you have to work hard and to earn comparatively little, like Euro did way back when, but conversely, I'm finding it rough to do basically zero work to earn a lot. I figure I could clean the room. Not that I ever clean my own room, but this big barrel-shaped cleaning robot goes around the room automatically a few times a day. Apparently, this robot is to thank for the house's almost eerie cleanliness. It's not like Oleski's secretly a neat freak who obsessively cleans his house. For some reason, that's a relief. This cleaning robot is pretty well built. Using some mysterious technology, it hovers a little bit off the ground as it sucks up dust with the whirring motor sound. For bigger messes, like when Anya spilled her sugary coffee on the kitchen floor, Sim even got on her clothes so she had to change out. The robot extends a mysterious arm to mop everything up. I think that was just before bedtime the day before yesterday. As I watch the machine smoothly pick up the trash, I murmur, I want one for our place. Anya comes out of the shower, drying her hair with a towel. It seems she heard me, so she starts talking about the origins of that machine. Oleski and I made this thing together. Due to an annoying customer request, it had to be made from the ground up, so Oleski asked for my help. Though it was mostly Oleski's work, and I just helped. Contrary to her self-derisive words, Anya sounds pretty proud of herself as she talks about the cleaning robot's features. The incredibly powerful armored vehicle we tried to leave town in. Apparently his cleaning robot uses the same power source. So unlike a battery-powered machine, there's no need to charge it, and it's more powerful too. So, could this thing explode? Maybe if I had made it. Well, Oleski's amazing hardware. He's actually a software guy. The software meshes perfectly with the hardware specifications and has complete control over the generator's current state. Software refers to programming and hardware refers to the mechanics, right? Yeah. I'm kind of gross, aren't I? I just blab on and on about technical jargon, like an otaku. You're normal, Anya. No, even better than normal. Oh. Anya smiles gently at my words. It almost feels like it's not even Anya I'm looking at. If only. Thanks. Is it because of her flat, wet hair? Her dressing gown? Wait. What was I just saying? Recalling memories is a good way to kill time. You could try to see how many details you remember. Any ambiguous parts can be supplemented by extrapolating what you remember from adjacent memories. Alright, I'm pretty sure.
Hell
yeah! Yahoo! My memory recollection is suddenly drowned out by some strange note voices. Oh, what happened? Take a look. Look at it. Before I know it, the pile of parts on the desk has become what appears to be an anatomical model of a skeleton. This is probably her skeleton, I guess. The right arm is the only portion that has parts with some flesh on it. Put in actual flesh, the exposed metal bones of the fingers slowly clench into a fist and open again. It repeats the cycle a few times. Well, I gotta blow my nose. 1 second. Shoot, I've been muted. No, I blew my nose like 5 minutes ago. Oh no. Sorry. Sorry. Great. Well, there's no going back. Oh. Shoot. Well, thanks for letting me know, Doodle. If you hadn't said anything, the rest of the stream would have just been me pressing the Z key. Oh man. He's so quiet. We're playing GHOSTPIA today. It's a visual novel. It does have depictions of violence in flashing colors. So watch at your own discretion. This is the final chapter of the game. Yeah, I thought I'd finished it in like November. But nope, we have the last chapter, so we're playing that tonight. Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Can a human be recreated as easily as a somewhat intricate hobbyist diorama? So this is GHOSTPIA. This is the last chapter. So this is the end of the game. So if you're at all interested in what you see and you want to experience it for yourself, The game has a demo on Steam. It's the first 2 chapters. It's like 2.5 hours of content. Um, it's really good, and I think the game's on sale right now too. Not a big sale, but it is on sale. Um, it's good. Actually, on second thought, Oleski's just an outlier. But if he's this skilled at engineering, why does he work as a movie theater projectionist? Maybe it's just because all the ghosts seem to be somewhat reserved when it comes to work. Alexei decided that today will be her first outing. But out, in this case, just means out in front of the house. Now that the full body unit test is complete, he wants to install a temporary personality file and check for any movement issues. I push her on a cart. Her black skeletal frame is exposed, her head crudely replaced with a speaker. She looks less like a mock-human and more like an uncanny art piece. Alexei moved the test up ahead of schedule to today since the snow just happened to stop, thereby minimizing the risk of damage to the parts. Okay, let her down over there. I let her down from the cart as instructed after Anya and the cleaning robot sweep away the snow at the designated location. As previously instructed, I insert the cable into the port on the back of her neck and hand the other end over to Oleski. I advise you to step back a bit. There's no guarantee that there won't be any malfunctions. She's got some ridiculous horsepower, and you never know if an arm will come flying off. Oleski plugs the cable into a laptop and starts typing away on the keyboard. Okay, good girl. Easy does it. Here we go. Beep boop. A sound reminiscent of a very primitive computer rings out, presumably from her temporary speaker head. A few seconds later. Welcome to Business Park! Strangely enough, it's a friendly old man's voice that rings out. Okay, it's an old man's voice. Alright. Give me a second. Okay. Hope you're doing okay, Doodle. It's good to see you, dear. The what park? I didn't catch the name since it was covered with noise. Please enjoy your day, and if you need any help, just call on me, Mr. Bzz. Oh, shoot, I need to go back. Well, it's fast forwarding. Okay. I'm doing okay. Please enjoy your day, and if you need any help, just call on me, Mr. Bzz. We've got fun games to play. The Bzz Corporation has a limited time sale on Bzz. What is this? It's probably a robot routine for an amusement park or a shopping mall. I bought it from the salvagers. This should be perfect for a motion test. Huh. The salvagers, huh? I missed them. I wonder how they're doing. They weren't bad guys. Mr. What's-his-face? What's his speaker? Slowly takes a step forward and another in an awkward walk cycle. With each step, the attached cable gets tighter and tighter until it snaps off, but doesn't stop walking. Oh, so that wasn't a power cable? I think it's more like a charging data cable. It should be basically wireless outside of charging. I mean, there's not really a point in a robot that can't move without a cable, is there? Excuse me. You've got a point. The more the robot walks, the more stable its walk cycle becomes. The robot then waves its hands at each of us and starts jumping up and down. Her body comes equipped with all standard functionality, so it should be able to run software made for other machines using the same standards out of the box. What do you think? Amazing, right? Um, just say amazing. Amazing. I think I'm starting to get used to talking with these two. Whenever Lesky says something incomprehensible, Anya gives me notes to help me respond properly. None of us are the type who hate silence, so there's no need to awkwardly look for something to talk about. This isn't bad. Sayoko! Anya! I turn around so quickly it's embarrassing. There's Zero running this way from that telephone pole over there. She came to see us. She must have been lonely too. Either that or she's run into some sort of problem. Or maybe she's found a new partner and came to hand me the divorce papers. Anything but that. Long time no see, you two. A familiar girl is running alongside her. I didn't notice her because she was in Yuro's shadow. Clara, why is that thing with you? My whole body freezes over and my legs go numb. I realize my right hand's in my pocket, unconsciously gripping my gun. I catch Yuro in my arms when she runs in for a hug. Yuro? Have you been, Sayoko? He hasn't been bullying you, has he? I'm fine. What's with the girl behind you? I ran into her along the way. She said she wanted to see you, Sayoko. Along the way? Yeah, I just ran into her along the way. No other reason, honest. I'll even treat you dinner if you can prove otherwise. It's not like I was accusing you of anything. Look, I didn't go out of my way to see her, okay? Have you two already gone that far? Sayoko and I are both going steady. What are you talking about? Don't make things confusing. My body still feels cold, but I'll probably be okay. It doesn't seem like things have changed in my absence. Whoa, how cute! Did you make this yourself? Yeah, this girl hasn't changed either. Yeah, this is indeed my creation. Wow, amazing! You must be a genius inventor. I wouldn't go so far as to call myself a genius. Why do guys go gaga over girls like that? Beats me. Clara's just as Clara-y as ever today, demonstrating boundless energy that's so unbelievable it's kind of gross. She keeps letting out cute noises at random. Can I play with this robot? As long as you're gentle. Nice to meet you, I'm Clara. I'm an apprentice nun at the church. My hobby is talking with people and helping out in any way I can. Clara bows. That reminds me, she did bow to me too, huh? I've known her for longer than I thought, unfortunately. Hello, young lady. Would you like to play a game with Buzz? Let's play the Buzz game. Whoa, a game? Let's play. Alright, since you're a robot. Clara rummages through her bag and takes out some sort of can. Here you go, a drink for robots. What is that? That's a can of fuel, a pretty expensive one that's used for generators and motorcycles. Is it really a drink for robots? Of course not. Can't drink without a mouth. Wait, she shouldn't even walk around with that thing in her bag. That's dangerous. Yuro hums to herself. Clara's waiting for the robot to take the can of fuel and drink it like it's a can of soda or something. Go ahead, feel free to drink it to commemorate our greeting to know each other. Beep! A robotic buzzer instantly causes the relaxed mood to tense up. Hostile behavior detected from a gray life form in possession of hazardous material. The possession of hazardous materials in this facility is a direct violation of the Anti-Terrorism Act. All defensive measures are now permitted. Hey, Alec, the hell's this about? I don't know. I didn't write this personality routine, but I think I've got an idea. Please quickly state your 9-digit national identification number and repeat it. Maybe it's a shinobi? I've only ever heard rumors about them. Doesn't ring a bell. Sorry, can you explain? There's an urban legend. There's an urban legend that hidden among the general purpose companion robots at malls and conventions, there are a certain number of shinobi robots programmed to seek out spies and kill them, like a sort of secret police. Killer robots? That's not good. You gotta stop it. I repeat, please state your national identification number. It's too late. Damn it, security robots aren't consumer goods. They're military grade. You don't want a terrorist hacking something like that, so they're completely shut off from external commands. I'm only able to get the gist of what Oleski's saying, but I guess the machine that has identified Clara as a terrorist is about to attack her. Why didn't you notice it before you activated it? How was I supposed to know it was an imposter routine? Damn it! Looks like shutting it down won't be as easy as turning off a computer. You idiot, don't shoot! You got any better ideas? This is your final warning. Please state your national identification number. I'm sorry, how do I apologize? Activating defense routines. Have a safe day. Oh! Eek! As soon as the robot finishes talking, she uses her metallic left hand to knock the can out of Clara's hand. Actually, let me rephrase that. She wrecks Clara's hand so hard, she can't even hold the can anymore. Her wrist is bent in an unnatural angle. The robot then reaches for Clara's neck with her right hand. Clara suddenly goes quiet, probably because her neck's been crushed. The robot then dangles her in the air. Error. Weapon not found. She, or rather the shinobi, speaks as its left hand clatters. It was probably intending to finish Clara off with a standard issue weapon usually installed on the left arm. Oh, come on! I kick its clattering left arm. Ow. But man, is that thing hard. I guess I should have expected it since it's basically an iron pole. I shake my head and try to regain my focus. Weapon not found. Terrorist backup detected. Weapon not found. Oh gosh. Looks like my efforts weren't wasted at least. The shinobi lets go of Clara. Thank goodness Oleski didn't install any weapons. In fact, it doesn't look like the shinobi even realizes it's not in the body it's supposed to be in. While its repeated error statements are annoying, they're also kind of sad. I'm no terrorist, but come at me. The shinobi responds by letting out a static roar from its head speaker before tearing up some fallen scrap metal and brandishing it like a sword. Whoa. The speaker-headed killing machine raises its rudimentary sword and lunges at me. It's hard to believe it's made of metal based on how light its movements are. But what's not light is the way it swings that thing down. I want to get hit by that. Sayoko! Anya tosses me a road sign that's been cut off at its base. In fights like these, the longer reach, the better. I swing wide and parry the shinobi's swing. Come at me. Okay. I carefully ward off each and every swing. It may be fast, but it's nothing I can't keep up with. But more importantly, in hand-to-hand combat with a human, or rather a ghost opponent, the advantage goes to whoever has the most endurance and stamina. But I'm up against a robot. I may be fine now, but how long can I keep this up? I know the negative thinking will just distract me and expose me to further risk, but I can't just unthink these thoughts. It's no use. I need to go on the offensive. Instead of holding the shorter end of the road sign to prioritize small quick swings, I shift my grip and hold the sign out as long as I can to take advantage of centrifugal force. As a result, I don't have time to adjust to how different it feels swinging it before the next attack comes. Instead of simply warding off the attack, this time I swing back as hard as I can, focusing as much strength as I can into my arms and my grip to withstand the impact of the collision. The iron plate of the road sign starts to warp. Perhaps thanks to the help of centrifugal force, the effect of the impact is more than just even. The enemy retreats with a few nimble backflips. as if it had forgotten that it's made of metal. So I take another swing. I can defend against the attack, sure, but the ground underfoot's too unstable to completely cushion the impact. With plenty of leeway, I take another large swing. Now that it's lost its posture, I can neither dodge nor block properly. It may be a machine, but the sheer weight of the road sign attack is too much for it to take as I knock away its metal shard sword. Now that it's defenseless, one less attack should be enough to... Stop! Alexei shouts. I reflexively freeze in place. The shinobi doesn't miss this opportunity to quickly make some distance. Please don't destroy her! It's not a her anymore, you idiot. It's a killing machine. It could kill you too. I can't just let you destroy the one person who loves me. The thing doesn't love you, at least not yet. It's not even complete. At the very least, that's the body that will be hers. If this project succeeds, how do you expect me to look at her without thinking about how I destroyed her body once in order to protect myself? I couldn't live with myself. Having lost its weapon, the shinobi comes at me with its bare fists now. Its already fast movements feel even faster. Can't you compromise at least a little? No, I want her to be perfect. I finally found someone to love, and I need my love to be more perfect than anyone else's. It looks like the enemy hasn't gotten faster, but I've just gotten tired. I know the reason nobody loves me is because there's nobody I love. I value myself, but unlike other people, I can't value someone else. I've never wanted to. Alexei speaks in a disgraceful, nasally voice. His enunciation is so bad it's hard to catch the words he's saying, but I think I can get what he's trying to say. Everyone instinctively sees that, which is why they won't love me. I'm sure there are tons of other people out there who can pretend to love others. But I don't get it. How? How can they do something like that? And why? I swing the road sign in a wide horizontal sweep, but the shinobi dodges by bending backwards. Okay, fine. I toss away my weapon too. I lose some reach and power, but I gain maneuverability. I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to lie. I want to love. I want to be loved. Damn it. You just don't understand. His voice really scratches my throat. I barely managed to keep toe-to-toe with this shinobi. I may be tough, but there's no telling what a metal fist to the vitals will do to me. That's why I made her. I tried taking out my gun and shouting, "Freeze!" An idea so crazy that did nothing. Rather, it did worse than nothing, as the shinobi kicks my gun out of my hands, so now I've lost my trump card. I'm pretty sure this is all Alesky's fault. I don't want to hear you complaining. Just how much longer will we bend to your will? We don't hate you as much as you think we do, so why can't you just let it go? Enough complaining. It seems to me the only reason you can love her is because she's like a part of you, and you know that. Maybe you're right, but maybe not. I'll never know until I try. I guess he's got a point. I get it. My wish is full of contradictions. I know that, but please, you're my only hope. Actually, I don't really get it, but I do get the feeling of indignation and the refusal to back down. Please stop her without hurting her. You're so selfish, you stinky poo-poo head. Fine, whatever. Guess I'll run as much as I can. I turn my back to the shinobi and retreat. I'm sure that thing will chase after me. I think things out as I run. Maybe the battery will even run out in the meantime. It's good to analyze your issues. You're showing signs of improvement. How wonderful. I get distracted by Yoro's voice. My feet stop for a moment. Retreat failed. I use both hands to guard against a heavy kick. But you might be hoping for a bit too much. What's Yoro talking about? Is she trying to do counseling? Here? If her strategy is to convince Alesky to let me destroy this thing, then I approve. If so, I suppose I can bear it a little longer. Yoro gives me a wink. I don't understand what that's supposed to mean. Mr. Alec, are you well versed in the Shinobi program's inner workings? No, of course not. I mean, just think about what kind of program it is. Look at the log. It's this line here. It's been saying the same request at fixed intervals, but always fails, and it's been returning this error message. You think you can lecture me, you amateur? Of course I can see that. Do you know what it means? No, how could I? There's no way I can tell what the function does just by looking at the... It's trying to communicate with headquarters. If there's a terrorist attack in one place, there's a possibility there's multiple other attacks happening simultaneously, right? That's why it's been trying to contact city headquarters insistently every second, as if it's waiting for the command to abandon its post at the tiny insignificant mall and go defend an important person or place. I see. How did you know? No, more importantly, are you suggesting we attack from that angle? That's right. Now that it's changed modes, I don't think it will accept normal commands, but this is an exception. The code changes at fixed intervals, but since it's offline, we can go at it as much as we want by sending the shutoff command with a little signal spoofing. The Shinobi will mistake it as a command from mission control, huh? Okay, but how do we spoof the signal? That's where you come in. You can do it, can't you? I sure can. I'm a genius. Kinda. Sayoko, hang in there just a little longer. Hey, give me that back! Yura pulls something off his hand and tosses it my way. I see. This is the thing Lesky used the first time we met. Oh, okay. The Otaku Guard, was it? If you ask me, it needs a better name. You should get Pacifica or someone to think of something. I see Pacifica's face in the back of my mind. I want to have coffee with her again sometime. A moment before the Shinobi's punch lands, the guard's thin outline envelops me. Not a scratch. The Shinobi stumbles back a step as if to ascertain what exactly blocked its attack. I find myself impressed by its cautiousness, though maybe I'm just amused by my codename, Ninja, is synonymous with its codename, Shinobi. Damn it! Is this it? No, this isn't it. No, is this it? No. Man, this phrase is really beating on my throat. Yes, that's gotta be it. Damn you! I silently tell Lesky where to go, as he shouts at his computer. But if I remember correctly, this thing's power output is still unstable, right? I probably shouldn't use it too long, or it might explode or something. I dare to shut off the guard, hold out my open palms, and beckon the Shinobi to come at me. I got it! Just a little more! There's no way the Shinobi will miss the fact that I'm way open. It leaps at me as if in recognition that this is its chance at victory. Guard on! I activate the guard at the very last moment before those metal fingers reach me. The guard deflects the enemy. The unexpected rebound causes the Shinobi to lose its footing. With one leg up in the air, I quickly shut off the guard and try to trip the Shinobi's remaining pivot leg. The guard deflects... with a sweeping kick. Ow! Please work! But the Shinobi may have lost its footing. Its legs are still just bare metal poles, and I just kicked one of them with my shin. I may be a ninja, but my leg's still made of flesh and bone. I wasn't expecting it to be easy, but still. I writhe in pain, forgetting to reactivate the guard, my lifeline. My hatred for the entire world is the only thing keeping my consciousness together. I hate everything. Yes, even you suddenly sound like a computer expert, despite never once hinting that she'd know a thing about them. Wait, what's up with that anyway? No, more importantly, what about the Shinobi? I find the Shinobi fallen over, still motionless in the corner of my eye. I see Lesky glistening in cold sweat as it gives me a thumbs up. I did it! I really am a genius. How's that, you dumbasses? Trying my best to ignore that noise violation, I instead turned to Yoro for an explanation. Yoro, what happened back there? I'm not a bank loan muck. I'm not. Oh right. What happened to Clara? I hope she's okay. Or I wonder if she's okay. That's a good one. Oh, that's a good one, Muck. That's a good one. She's clearly dodging a question, but now that she mentions Clara, we all remember that she's what set this whole scuffle into motion. Anya goes off to check on her. The rest of us follow behind. If Clara's alive, I wonder if we can charge the church a rescue fee. I wouldn't charge. It wouldn't change the fact that we've gotten her killed several times over. How are you, Mac? I hope we're doing okay. Good to see you, Jer. Is it possible to live with your neck like this? She asks that question. As she asks that question, Anya shows us Clara, or perhaps I should say her corpse. No rescue fee for us, I guess. I let out a dry chuckle. Is that a corpse? Upon seeing Clara's corpse, Aleski turns pale, takes several steps backwards, and starts vomiting. But apart from her oddly bent neck, she looks perfectly fine. At least nothing's spilling out of her or anything. Huh. Are you not used to seeing corpses? This guy's a shut-in, see? It's you guys who are the freaks. Honestly, there's not much difference between a corpse and what this guy's trying to make. But I'm pretty sure they're totally different things in his mind, and I guess that's good enough for now. Don't worry, I'll take this thing someplace else. No, there's something I want to ask you, Yoru. That's right, I can't let this opportunity pass. I need to ask Yoru herself. Please get rid of it. Look, Aleski's getting impatient too. Then I'll come with you. Okay, then let's go. The two of us head away from the amusement park and go all the way to the outer limit of town. Where's a good place to get rid of this thing anyway? Wherever you think is a good place. Let's just go a little bit further, if that's okay with you, Yoru. Yeah, it's fine. I want to give those two some time together, too. Good idea. It sure is. We walk a bit more after that conversation. If you look back, you can see a full, sprawling view of the town. It reminds me of the view I once shared with Yoru back at the top floor of the church, though the angle is completely different. Each light in town tells the ghosts who live there. Each light of the town tells of the ghosts who live there. There are a lot of worthless, good-for-nothing ghosts, but there are also ghosts that I like, even if they sometimes cause explosions with weird science experiments. A freezing wind blows. Ooh, that's cold. It sure is. I guess we should get back quickly. Why don't we light a bonfire, Sayoko? It's way too cold. Oh, I've got matches. I also got a lot to talk about. Yoru's eyes look straight through mine. Her eyes go from anxious panic to confident determination. I nod. It's exactly what you think, Yoru. I don't feel bad at all. I just feel a little ticklish that she's seen through me. I do want to talk, but we don't have anything to burn. There's not even trash around here. I casually glance at Clara's corpse, then look back to Yoru. She shrugs. I shrug back and let go of the corpse. Oh, no, okay. Oh boy. When the corpse plops onto the ground, a large can rolls out of Clara's coat pocket. Oh right, the can of fuel. She was trying to give this thing to the robot, wasn't she? Oh, how convenient. Your murmurs. I'm so glad you came, Yoru. Discover the fun of pyromancy. I like that. Okay. Sayoko. Yoru whispers. Yoru looks like she's caught on to the fact that I'm going to ask what I haven't asked all this time. She knows she'll have to answer. I'm the one who brought Yoru out here, so I'm the one who has to start off the discussion. We work together, and on our time off we hang out with people we know. When we get home we chat before we go to sleep. It's a little questionable that we share the same bed, but there's only one bed and two of us. I speak from the heart, and if I want Yoru to expose everything about herself, I should expose myself to her too. At least that's how I feel. Exposing yourselves to each other. Yes, that's the showing skin thing that Yoru once brought up. I use that logic to encourage myself, because otherwise I'd be too scared to push forward, I'm sure. I've always hated this town. I've always wanted to go home. I tell myself that even if I can't string my thoughts in a coherent order, if I just say everything I need to say, she'll understand how I feel. Also, I've always felt bad not knowing why ghosts even exist, so with Pacifica and Anya's help, I've tried to leave the town, though for some reason I don't really remember what happened back then. It's an especially vague memory of mine. Pacifica and Anya were my friends back then, too. We were trying to get to the outside world, just like we are now. I'm pretty sure it was my desire to go home that motivated us back then. Yes, back then. To be honest, now that I have you, I feel like I don't need to go back to where I was before. As long as I've got you, and Pacifica and Anya, I don't mind being here. Back then I really wanted to go home. But now I feel like I've got a place I belong here. But I haven't done anything. I shake my head. I'd die for you. How can I say that with a straight face? I don't want you to die, Sayoko. I can feel the blood rushing to my cheek a moment late. I won't die. I'm a ghost after all. And that's just a standard ghost joke. I try to plaster on a smile to hide my embarrassment, but only end up with a half-twitching face. I give up and take a deep breath. The cold air stings my nose. I can feel tears welling up in my eyes. I killed those two. I shot them with my gun, probably on purpose. I pull out my gun and point it at Yoru, trying to remember how it felt back then. From the snippets of my memory that I do recall, I feel like I can remember the fear of shooting the gun and the surprise at the recoil. Did that really happen? Yoru keeps listening to me without faltering in the slightest. The three of us once tried to get out of the city. We used the same car as before. Things were going smoothly at first, I think, but then something happened. Something that's since gotten hazy. Despite all that happened back then, Pacifica and Anya said they'll help me try again. And that's not all. They fuss over me so much. They even brought you into my life, Yoru. It's not that I want to go home. I just want to go further than we did last time, with everyone. They did all that for me, and I killed them. There must be some reason why I thought that was the right thing to do. I feel like I need to find out that reason. But Sayoko, you might just end up repeating what happened last time. I feel that the same thing will happen if I've got you, Yoru. So I'd like to ask you again. Will you please come with me? I can't do anything. I just need your presence, Yoru. I've already shot you once before, haven't I? I feel like everything will be okay if you're with me. I know there's no reason to believe it, but that's just how strongly I feel about you. And what sort of feelings do you have for me? special. Yes. I feel that you're special to me, Yoru. Yes, that's right. I see. So I'm special, huh? I'm happy to hear it. Thank you. I wasn't happy at all to be called special before, but when you say it, it makes my heart feel so warm, Sayoko. Jiro snuggles up against me as she says that. She seems so childish, despite being quite a bit bigger than me. She certainly feels warm like a child too. Sayoko, you said you didn't understand why you ghosts even exist, right? Jiro speaks while still clinging to me. All I can see is her head, so her voice draws in even more of my attention. Probably. I know even less about who or what I am, or why I am. So we're similar in that regard. You wouldn't happen to know who I am either, would you, Sayoko? Sorry, I don't. True, this town's just full of things we don't know. What a mess, huh? Yura's making it sound like she's not one of us. Is she not a ghost? So as a result, I was a little confused at first. Like, why do I have to be here? I was wondering if there was some way to quit this whole time. And that's when someone from the church approached me. Quit what exactly? I think back to that story from the insane customer Anya talked about. This town is a prison. There are several jailers among us to observe. No, that can't be it. That's ridiculous. I really can't do anything. I'm not strong like you, I'm not cool like Pacifica, and I'm not handy like Anya. But you were amazing just earlier today, weren't you? That was just because I knew what was going on. I was confident because I had prior knowledge. At first, I wasn't motivated to step in at all. The project was just in such bad taste. I figured it'd be for the best if you just tore that thing to pieces, Sayoko, but it'd be a little out of character for you to say that, huh? Yoru smiles and continues. I noticed that Alec really treasures that girl. I tried putting myself in his shoes and got really scared. And before I knew it, I set myself into motion without thinking. I don't think anyone could have done what you did without thinking, honestly. There's nothing more amazing about applying knowledge you just so happen to have. No, it is amazing. I'm really curious to know exactly who you are, Yoru. I certainly do know things you don't, Sayoko, but I can't do anything. There's nothing I can do to help you out. Even if I told you everything I know, it wouldn't make you happy, Sayoko. We won't know that until you tell me. To tell the truth, I'm a teensy bit different than you and the other ghosts, Sayoko. I can tell you a little about this town, but there's no point. It wouldn't amount to anything. I listened intently to what you were saying, every single word of it. I try to swallow those words and process them, but I can't digest any of it. There are many things that I don't know either, like how the church noticed me. At first I thought I'd eventually understand what I am, but in the end I still don't know. But there were some good things, though. Hiro stops clinging to me and looks me straight on. You appeared out of the blue and rescued me. You sat next to me and you even gave me a name as a present. How could I not be happy? I felt like I had no choice but to stick with you forever. As Yuro reminisces, her eyes sparkle with a passionate light. It's almost as if the bonfire isn't the only fire burning here. She's so dazzling I can't help but look down at the floor to avert my gaze. It wasn't a big deal. I'll go with you, Sayoko, wherever you go, but what? Yuro turns her back to me. I look up to find her looking at the city nightscape. For a second time, I'll start to think that there's nobody left within those lights. The city nightscape means completely different things to me and Yuro. It's a little sad to think about. She and I are different. The two of us are actually quite distant from each other, but only just so happen to be physically close right now. Just thinking about it like that makes me want to cry. You see, Sayoko, the truth is, there are things in this world that are more meaningless than you think. Some things are just nonsense that seem true, and you might just be getting your hopes up for nothing. I wish I could see Yoru, because then I could understand the reason for her tears. Is that still okay with you? Will you still stay with me? The question is surely an important one for both me and for Yoru. I wish I could put a stop to her tears on command. Of course I do. I walk around Yoru's back so I can see her face to face. I gaze right into her eyes. Of course. I get it. You don't have to say it twice. I hesitate to talk back. I don't think there's anything I can really tell you, Sayoko. It's okay. I'm satisfied. More satisfied than I could ever could be, even though I haven't gained any information whatsoever. You're so nice. That's not true. Anyway, let me ask this one thing. Remember what Anya said earlier. I'm free to come up with my own theories, aren't I? Yoru. I call her by her name. Her name's Yoru because I met her that night. At night. It really is a dumb, lazy, weird name that I just came up with on the spot. But before I knew it, it's a name I've grown to love. Yoru, are you a human? Yoru's eyes open wide after a moment of silence. Sorry, I can't do the laugh. Yoru laughs. A human? Well, there have been times when I've thought it'd be nice to be a human. Am I a human? I've never thought I'd be asked that. It's not that funny of a question, is it? I squat down next to the bonfire, embarrassed. Sorry, but even if I'm not a human, that doesn't ever change the fact that I want to be your trusty roommate forever, Sayoko. You're not trusty at all, though. There must be something behind the scenes of this town that's sure to make me sad. Let's go back, Sayoko. But now's not the time for me to know what that is. I take Yoru by the hand. Okay. I'm a ghost and she's well, I'm not sure what she is, but at the very least, she's not human. The two of us walk together in the snow. Once we get back, the strange man is working desperately on his robot. Today's another strange day. I wonder if there are any humans out there who know about these strange happenings. I suddenly notice the sky turning white in the distance. Another day comes to a close. Another day out of eternity. Okay, how's this? Please work. 1 second later, Oleski clacks the enter key on his keyboard. Excuse me. I shoot a glance at Anya, who's sitting next to him. She nods. I plug my ears with my index fingers. Why does this keep happening? Thanks to my makeshift earplugs, I only have to expose my ears to Oleski's shrieks directly. Or I don't have to expose my ears to Oleski's shrieks directly. After several repetitions of this cycle, I've learned how to deal with it. Everything was going smoothly up until the body movement test. Both Oleski and Anya said as much, and it never looked like they had reached a dead end. However, since that little violent incident and my subsequent conversation with Yoru, progress just hasn't been going well. That said, it's not because of damage to the parts during the scuffle or anything. In fact, the only damage I managed to inflict with Yoru's help was some minor warping of the leg frame. Rather, the issue here is that once the hardware implementation was mostly complete, Oleski wanted to do a software test, but the hole in the ghost pocket effect caused Oleski's code to disappear. Ever since we started coming here, Less has been disappearing and at a lower frequency, but nonetheless, things are still disappearing one by one on the software side, which is causing Oleski headaches. Since we can see the parts, we can consciously be aware of their existence and presence. The programs have no physical form and are incomprehensible to us, so it's hard to be aware of them. At least that's the theory as to why the code keeps disappearing. But Oleski just cynically said, I have to write the code faster than it disappears, and spent days on end typing up a storm programming. However, with every test, some part of the program would go missing, and the entire unit would stop moving, causing him disappointment, despair, and Damn it! He screams shamefully. Maybe things would have gone better if Yoro didn't go home. I pull my fingers out of my ears and speak out to Anya. I don't know, it's not like we can force her to stay, though. True, but still. After our bonfire conversation, Yoro walked back with me to Oleski's house, but she had this to say about his project. I just can't support it, no matter what. I'm sorry. She declined to help and instead went back home. I didn't stop her, of course, and that brings us to the present. The mood in the lab isn't good, but I'm optimistic. Somehow I just know they'll find a solution. Oleski's just that skilled of an engineer. That portable otaku guard was a pretty high-quality piece of tech, after all. The front doorbell rings. That's the first time I've heard that sound from the inside. It feels more formal than a doorbell than doorbell at my place. I'll go answer it. And he trots off to the entrance, leaving the hallway door open. Quit! For some reason, Anya's yelp gives me deja vu. Oh, right. It's like when I first met Clara. Is she back? Since it's a big house, the entrance is far away, so I can't just make out what they're talking about. I decide to wait. Uh-oh. I regret my optimism when several seconds later men wearing coats march into the lab. Oleski, could you come with us for a moment? There's 5 men. Large men. I can't deal with them while protecting Oleski and Anya at the same time. I grind my teeth. Hey, what are you accusing Oleski of? Anya rushes in after the men. You are abusing technology in order to blaspheme God, are you not? The man appears to be the leader. The man who appears to be the leader presses Oleski with a firm voice. He glares at Oleski. I can't help but follow his gaze and look at him too. Here he looked pale due to stress. Sorry, I got drink water. He already looked pale due to stress and lack of sleep, but now he looks even paler. He's even whiter than a ghost. He reminds me of the worn-out bar of soap in my bathtub. How did you know? We have eyes everywhere. Anya jumps in front of the men as if to shield Oleski from those eyes. Hey, Oleski's free to research what he wants in his own free time, isn't he? I back up without a moment's delay. That's right, what right does the church have to complain? The church must be stepping in due to my involvement. I thought things had calmed down lately, but maybe I've just been too careless. Either way, it's too late to regret it now. I will answer your questions in order. First, this man is technically an official follower of the church. While he is not a church-going believer, he is still our brother. And since he is our brother, we must have him adhere to our customs. Is that true? Yes, it's true. I'm a follower. I understand. I'll come with you, but these ladies... Oleski! Anya shouts. Oleski shuts up. The man quickly interjects in the ensuing silence. Do not take us for liars. As for our other question, this man's workplace, the movie theater, as well as the amusement park, are both subsidized by the church. The workers are also followers of the church, though this fact is not well known. I can hear Anya murmuring that she didn't know that. This man is both a follower of the church and was given employment by the church, and yet he associates with the ninja that opposes the church. Thus, we have a right to complain about his actions, do we not? Mr. Oleski, if I kill all of them... Oleski holds his hand out to refuse my suggestion. It's okay. I wasn't expecting the Inquisition, but this might be a test from God. Mr. Inquisitor, may I speak with the priest during my trial? The priest is a compassionate man. I am sure he will listen to your words, no matter how asinine they may be. Okay, I see. Oleski approaches the men with his hands raised. 2 of the men immediately frisk him. There's a gun in my pocket. If I prioritize annihilating the enemy, I have fair odds of overall success, though not without sacrifices. But it looks like this is Oleski's problem, if anything, If that's the case, then I've got no reason to needlessly kill these men. Well, I'll be back. Eventually. In my moment of hesitation, the men quickly drag Oleski away. We stand stock still in shock in the silent room. He protected her, didn't he? Anya murmurs, "What do you..." I try to ask, but since my throat's dry, it comes out weird. What do you mean? He probably didn't want to draw attention to his creation by resisting our protesting. Otherwise, they might have destroyed her. Oh, how shrewd. Yeah, he really is shrewd. He might say he can't love or be loved, but I think he's got some character in that regard. Maybe you're right. Excuse me. He could really use some more confidence, though. Anya laughs weakly before letting out a big sigh. Say, Sayoko. Anya gazes into my eyes and carefully chooses her words. I know it might be shameless of me, but there's something I'd like to ask you. I get impatient and ask her question for her. You want me to save Oleski? Yeah, exactly. I know it's an unreasonable request. I don't have that much money, but I can still pay you what I do have, so... What? Hold on, Anya. You don't have to pay me. Then Anya casually starts bringing up the question of money. I frantically gesture that it won't be necessary. But I'm asking you an unreasonable favor, and this isn't even your problem to begin with, Sayoko. When I raided the church, you brought out the armored vehicle to come rescue me, and I didn't pay you then. I just did that because I wanted to. Anya really is a good girl. I know it for a fact, and I feel it with my heart. I'm sorry. I know I sound weird right now. Maybe she's even too good. I feel like her dedication is going a bit overboard in this whole ordeal. This isn't your problem to solve, Anya. You're not a ninja. You don't do whatever it is Pacifica does. But despite all that, you're always doing your best at putting yourself in danger, so you're reliable. Oh, really? That's why I just want to pay back the favor. I always want to thank you for everything you do, but just saying thank you feels half-hearted, so I never get to say it. I'm running out of air in my lungs, so I take a deep breath before I continue. As you know, there are very few things I'm good at, but I want you to rely on me more, so I'll do anything I can for you, Anya. I start running out of the room. I need to chase after those men. The Inquisitors, I believe? I once heard... I stop at the sound of Anya's words. I once heard from a shithead woman who's in that sort of crowd she said, that's just a group of outcasts. That lonely girl's just trying to force herself in to find the place she belongs. The nerve of her. Anya's voice is full of rage. I don't know the finer details of that interaction, but I can bet it was incredibly frustrating. I mean, sure, we may have just formed a group because we didn't fit into any other groups. In fact, I definitely think that was the case. But so what? What's wrong? Is it wrong to associate with like-minded peers? But it's not like we force ourselves to group up out of desperation, you know? That's why I've made up my mind. This time, it's Anya's turn to run out of breath as she gasps for air. I decided to treasure my friends as much as I can, so that I won't be embarrassed no matter who sees us. If I do that, then nobody can tell me that we're only friends out of necessity, you know? So, shit, I'm so uncool right now. I told myself I'd never talk about this. The tears welling up in Anya's eyes seem almost infectious as tears start to form in my eyes as well. Maybe it's because Anya is so overwhelmingly precious and I don't know how else to express it. Why are you crying? Come on. You're crying too, Anya. And thus, we both cry. I guess when it's just us two, without Pacifica or Yoru around, we're just a couple of crybabies. Weeping together like this is so girly and dumb, yet it's so satisfying. Once the tears have mostly stopped, I give Anya a thumbs up and speak up. I'm off. I'm counting on you. Leave it to me. I sniff as I run. My nose stops dripping. I fling open the door and dash into the snowy outdoors. It's not too hard to catch up to men who are walking. Thankfully, since we're in the outskirts of town, there aren't many buildings to obstruct the view. Thanks to the fuel that is Anya's simple, earnest friendship, I'm filled with boundless energy, unlike anything I felt before. Basically, it feels a little comically overdramatic as I block all the men's path all ninja-like. Hand over Alexi. You just quietly handed him over a moment ago. Please understand, I'll be okay. Let's just say, the situation has changed. I point my gun at the lead Inquisitor. We're off to a good start. So you've changed your mind. I see. Do you intend to take this man back, even if it requires the use of force? Well, I suppose you could say that. The Inquisitor takes a black rectangular object out of his pocket. I can't help but gasp. No sudden movements! I recognize that it's the what the Inquisitor took out. A transceiver. Do it! I don't know what came first, the sound or the impact. I pull the trigger out of shock. The recoil hits my whole upper body harder than I expected, causing me to take a few steps back. Why? I thought I'd brace my legs better than that. I get a bad feeling as I look over my shoulder behind me. There's red blood splattered all over the pure white snow. I don't even want to think about it, but I feel my abdomen a little lower than my solar plexus. Oh, come on. They got me. I've been shot, but nobody in front of me even has a gun out. I'm confused just for a second, then I start to process what had happened with surprising composure. I've been sniped. They've got a sniper. Shit, I screwed up! I scream out loud in an attempt to maintain endogenous opioid levels in my brain. The pain from a gunshot wound doesn't come immediately. It'll intensify as soon as I let my guard down, so I need to keep myself at a natural high. If you call yourself a sniper, don't aim for the gut. Go for a headshot. One shot, one kill. I shout like an idiot as I use the calm part of my mind to turn out thoughts at high speed. So that's why the Inquisitor's acting so smug. I suppose he's already planned out countermeasures for a ninja like me. If the sniper's been watching me this whole time, they probably saw me climb to the top of a building like some sort of action hero too. How embarrassing. They probably had themselves a chuckle looking at me. I wish I could smack them right now, but I don't even know where they are. As I think those thoughts, the snow at my feet bursts into the air. I guess that was a warning shot, as in, I can always shoot you again. I make sure that I've still got a grip on my gun, but I'm not sure I can keep holding it for more than a few dozen seconds. My gut's bleeding even worse than I thought. If I make any moves, I'll only reach my time limit that much quicker. I hate to admit it, but there's no way I can win. Go, ninja, go! I'll be okay! Alesky's hair-raising shriek snaps me back to my senses. He's right. I need to get moving. I back away, keeping my sights on the Inquisitor, even if for just formality's sake. Once I've gotten enough distance, I turn around. I back away, keeping my sights set on the Inquisitor, Once I've gotten enough distance, I turn around and hide under the cover of the building. I find a conveniently placed garbage can and hide behind it. It's better than nothing, I guess. I close my eyes. There's no indication anyone's pursuing me. I guess they don't feel like finishing me off, which is a bit of a relief. That said, I don't know where the sniper is, nor do I know if they can still see me. I don't even know if there's only one sniper. I can feel my consciousness fading. Oh right, if I can just forget about this injury, then I'll be good as healed. It's worth a shot, as long as I don't freeze to death beforehand. I feel my 5 senses fade away, even my sense of time. Miss Ninja? Miss Ninja, are you okay? My consciousness suddenly snaps back to reality. I recognize that grinning, saccharine voice. It's Clara. As my consciousness returns, so does the hot, burning pain of the gunshot wound in my gut. I groan. You're badly injured. You need first aid. Thanks this asshole. Seeing my wound, the entire disappearing process has been reversed. I'm fine. Just leave me alone. Go do something else. I can't. I need to treat you. There's no point. I'm a ghost after all. Who cares if I die? I care. Ah, found it. After finding bandages or something in her bag, Clara sits down next to me and leans over to inspect my wound. Her sugary scent frustrates me. Clara, why do you care so much about this? It's not like you need to. There's tons of other people out there who love you. There's no deep meaning behind those words. I just want to get through to her that there's no point in her getting close to me. But the priest told me to. There's probably some sermon about the importance of friendship or something. What did he say? He said that I was the only one who could save your souls. He said he expected great things from me. I must write it off as foolish nonsense before I make... Oops. Oh, whoops. Sorry. Priest told me to... He said that I was the only one who could save your souls. He said he expected great things from me. I must write a sudden realization. I focus my hazy consciousness and reflect on the words Clara said. Clara, why did you go to Alexi's house? Because the priest told me that you guys were all up to something at the movie projectionist's house. I can feel my heart feel my heart start pounding. Did you tell the priest what happened during your visit? I sure did. The priest is nice and gives me lots of advice. Every day when I hang out with you guys, I always have a friendship review with the priest. As she says that, Clara tries to stick a bandage on my wound. I grab her hand without thinking. The bandage flutters to the ground. You consciously did all of that and you still don't understand what it is you've done? Are you kidding me? Why did Clara approach us? Surely it was because she was a simple-minded idiot who felt an odd sense of camaraderie towards us. At least that's what I thought. But that wasn't the case at all. Clara's a moving wiretap. You're a spy. A word of Oleski's girlfriend spread from Clara to the church, thus setting the Inquisition in motion. The priest used the power of his faith to raise this thoughtless, almost hopelessly optimistic girl into a splendid spy. I felt the church had been pretty hands-off lately, but they had actually been surprisingly thorough in their surveillance. Come to think of it, when we met Oleski, he was working at the church-funded movie theater, and he's a follower, albeit a stray one. In that case, it should be a given that some of the co-workers might be followers too. We watched several of those co-workers walk by as we waited for Oleski. At least one of those nosy followers must have reported our conversation with Oleski to the church. After hearing that report, the church, that is the priest, must have had some doubts about it. Around the time the report was made, Anya and I disappeared off the streets. I should assume that the priest got word of our disappearance too. With all this evidence piled up, it's only natural that the priest, or at least somebody else, would come to the conclusion that Oleski's working on something with the ninja and the repair workshop apprentice. The church must know about Oleski's engineering skill. Furthermore, he's a heretic. It's only natural that the church would feel threatened by him potentially leading a violent revolt against its religious authority. At least that's how I think religions work. Right after we contacted the heretic, he vanished like smoke. That should be enough cause to cause panic in the church. The priest calmly responded to the panic by sending in Clara. After some complications, Clara broke her neck, revived, and returned to the priest to report all the details to the priest. Oh, speaking about Clara breaking her neck, why did she even have that kind of fuel to offer to the robot? Why didn't that raise more alarms with me? Clara knew we were making something there. Her idea of an appropriate gift was that can of fuel. I did nothing. I didn't do anything wrong. I let go of her pale, slender wrist. I despise you. A certain sort of despair drives me to speak in the coldest voice I can manage. Clara has been an irritating pest, but now I realize that somewhere in my heart I had started to grow fond of our semblance of a relationship. You innocently hide that behind a facade of goodwill as you spread the ill will of others as an intermediary, all while feigning ignorance to protect yourself. I tremble at the thought that it was all just a ruse. I'm mad, and maybe a little sad, too. You're disgusting, filthy, you're far worse than the priest himself. I berate myself for my own stupidity. I have to act as coldly as possible to do what I need to do. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Just the other day I came to help because I was worried about you, remember? I'm not a spy. No, you knew. You were just prepared not to. You've been pulling the wool over eyes so your shepherd would praise you like a good little sheep. But you couldn't bear the guilt of deceiving someone, so you deceived yourself this whole time. I think the endogenous opioid levels in my brain are rising again. The pain has faded, and all I feel is a boiling heat like magma churning in my stomach. Clara cries pathetically, her nose dripping, but I don't feel the thing watching her. I proceed with the execution. The execution of a friendship. Or a relationship, sorry. I feel like something similar has happened before. In this town, nobody dies. But if you kill a relationship, they're dead to you. Don't you dare show your face in front of me or my friends ever again. I'm never talking with you again. I won't hurt you. I'll just ignore you. No information for spies. Clara tries to say something, but I cut her off. Go away. But I tried so hard. Go away! When I shout, sparks start to fly in my eyes. Maybe I've strained myself too much. I can't even hear Clara sobbing anymore. So maybe I'm starting to lose my hearing too. Soon enough, not even my sense of time can drag me down. My consciousness disappears. We're not done yet? How long is this chapter? I feel so downhearted, but more than that, I'm driven by a sense of duty, so I reach for the doorknob, only to realize the door is locked, until I break it down, and I'm free to go inside. After a tragic defeat in my separation from Clara, I end up right back where I started at Alexi's house. I slip out into the hallway and head into the familiar living room and enter the lab. Sorry, Anya. I got sniped, so I was thinking of getting a bulletproof vest this time. I feel so miserable. I know there's nobody can speak on the spot here, so I say my lines I've thought up of beforehand. Do you think Lo sells them at her store? If so, I'd like to borrow some money, so, It's not that I've forgotten the words I was going to say next. It's because I noticed a frowning Yoro typing up a storm, and beside her, Anya stands up as she notices me and shrugs her shoulders. I'm definitely curious as to what's going on here, but there's something I have to do first. Anya, I'm sorry. I failed. I tell her the details of how I was dealt a pathetic defeat by the Inquisition. It feels especially humiliating after I confidently ran my mouth. I think the only reason I didn't cry was because Yoro was right there. It's not your fault, Sayoko. You couldn't have predicted all of that. Let's think of a plan together, the three of us. Anya looks towards Yoro, our third member. I join her, but Yoro doesn't look away from the monitor for even a moment as she types away at Leski's keyboard. I can't help but find her focus ghastly. Yoro, what are you doing? Chatting. Chatting with who? With Alex Pride and Joy. Oh, come on, if you keep saying things like that, I'll pull out her motherboard. Would you believe Yoro edited Alex's unfinished personality data and perfected it? That said, since her body's gone, it's just running in the computer. So it's like she has no body, but she has a soul? I guess you could say that. Yoro's talking with her soul, and apparently she... Sayoko, this girl keeps begging to go see Aleski. Alexei. But why? I'm curious to see what sort of conversation they're having, so I peek at the display over your shoulder. Oof. It's quite different from what you'd usually expect from an email or chat client. It's a black screen with a continuous string of green text that's not even broken down into paragraphs. It's so plain it's vomit-inducing. I can't read this. It's not that I can't read any of it, but I can barely make out what Yoro's typing in. But the messages that are apparently hers look like patterns of incomprehensible symbols. Don't sweat it. I can't read it either. She said, Alec must be allowed to continue working on me. With my intelligence, it should be simple to persuade the church prepare my physical body at once. Huh. Even after it's been explained to me, it still looks like patterns of symbols to me. There's definitely more to Yoro than meets the eye. She knows things that are unfathomable to us. By us, I mean all of us ghost kind. She's kind of full of herself, huh? Maybe she gets it from Alexei. Prepare her body, huh? Easier said than done. Anya groans. I ruminate once more on the fact that Alexei created consciousness, a whole personality within the confines of a computer. It's kind of dizzying. There's an artificial consciousness that can think, feel, and desire just like me, casually sitting there as if it's no big deal. Things have always been like this. Almost sinfully revolutionary things just Almost sinfully revolutionary things just casually existing in their presence. But if I were to simply unplug the computer and destroy it on a whim, her consciousness would surely break too. Her existence would end as suddenly as it had begun. How fragile. But there's something nostalgic, something precious about that fragility. I'm sure Yoru's the only one who can understand what she wants. Say, Yoru. Sorry, I don't think I can do it either. Looks like the personality data drivers are missing. Several internal parts must have disappeared when Alec was taken away too. I'm at a dead end here. There's nothing I can do about what's disappeared. Is that so? I really do want to do something for a Sayoko, I swear. So there are things that even Yoro can't do, huh? He's not omnipotent. They're just some jars that she can't open after all. Hold on. Let me read that. She's not omnipotent. They're just some jars she can't open. After all. Wait. No, I should stop judging every little thing Yoro does. It's so petty. If only we could enable her to do as she wants. I know better than anyone just how fast that body first can move. If we could successfully install her into that body, she should be able to free Alexei with brute force. But as long as she can't move, she's helpless. Personally, I was planning on preparing for a second charge as soon as possible, but I guess deciding to do what to do with her should take priority. I'm useless when it comes to solving these sorts of problems. I suddenly feel so worn out, so I take a seat on a nearby box. Whoa! I jump when I hear a beeping sound. It's the cleaning robot, the thing Alexei and Anya worked together to create. I thought I'd broken it, but Anya assures me it's okay. Just to make sure, we watch for a few seconds after the red light turns green, and then... Eureka! Yoro suddenly shouts. She then starts pounding away at the keyboard even harder. Anya and I rush over to the monitor to see what she's typing. You should just go inside that vacuum cleaner. After a moment, that incomprehensible pattern of character starts filling the screen again. Stop complaining! Yoro replies. The response comes a moment later. It's even longer this time. Having free will does mean you will get everything you want for free, you know. Likewise, Yoro's reply gets longer too. She's a longer response with a shorter wait. Arguing in chat feels so unproductive. Anya murmurs. Whatever, I'm gonna do it whether you like it or not. After typing in that message, Yoro takes her eyes off the monitor and turns to us. The monitor behind her fills with a response, then another, yet another, before Yoro finally speaks up as if to drown out the text. Wait, are you seriously gonna stuff that shitty personality of hers into this vacuum cleaner? I'm fed up with her, so I think I will. It's got way fewer parts than a humanoid robot, and it'll take out the hassle of bipedal walking. So that's 2 bugs with 1 stone. I mean, sure, but it'll still take a hell of a long time. Well, don't worry about that. I'm sure I can get it done before it's time to eat, which is why I want to ditch a slow keyboard and use a more direct input device. Okay. Really? Sure, there's something around here. There's something around here somewhere in this house. As Anya leaves the room to look for a direct input device or whatever, I'll call out to her. I'm completely useless here right now, so I need to do what it is I can do. Anya, I'll go to Aleski, and Anya turns around. The indescribable look on her face has me confused. What's with the awkward expression? It must be because I failed to meet her expectations after all. I'm sorry. I'm sure you've suffered a lot because of me. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't get ahead of myself like that. It's so tacky of me. No, I'm the one who should apologize. I failed to save Aleski. I need to try again. No, you don't have to go. Not now, at least. I tried to put in a but only for Anya to keep going with full control over the conversation. You must be tired from all the action, right? You should rest. You look exhausted. Besides, I agree with Yoro's thinking. We'll see how that pans out soon enough. We'll see? Yeah, so let's just watch Yoru and make sure she doesn't slack off. I'm a little concerned about how Anya said, we'll see, but I decided not to go against her. I decided to sit down in a nearby chair and blankly watch as Yoro types on the keyboard. I should be feeling tense right now, but for some reason I let out a yawn. There's not really much I can I can do to help here, is there? I don't think there is, at least. Okay, done. I wake up at the sound of Yoro's voice. Uh-oh, I fell asleep. My body feels so powerless, as if my batteries had run out. My eyelids are so heavy I can't even tell if they're open. I try to brace my legs and stand up, but fail. I end up doing all I end up doing is letting out a groan. It's at that moment I realize just how exhausted I am. Yoro speaks up when she hears the noise. Anya calls out to me, reaches out her hand. Thank you, I'm okay. Teku, I'm okay. I can't even speak clearly. How embarrassing. I know someone's standing behind Anya, looking down at me. Is it Pacifica? I strain my barely openable eyes. No, it doesn't look like Pacifica. She doesn't have black hair, and this person's an adult. It's someone I know. That person suddenly smiles. I recognize that smile. After all, I've seen it in a movie. It's her, the beloved woman Aleski was trying to create. I gasp. My head slowly starts to wake up. And like magic, my drowsiness disappears. Yes, that's her, but not exactly. To be more specific. The hell? I get up and stare at what lies before my eyes. Oh my... I thought they just put her in the robot. Okay. Let's stick her head to it. It's the cleaning robot we were talking about earlier. What was once a smooth, flat surface is now the uncanny valley of a woman's head. Her eyes are shut like she's sleeping, and of course, she's not actually smiling. In any case, it doesn't look like it was just glued on there as a joke. The base of the neck is attached to the robot chassis with some sort of adapter. The head parts hadn't disappeared, so I figured it'd be a waste not to use them. The neck also uses standardized parts, so attaching it was doable. But that doesn't mean it wasn't tough. I was able to manage with Anya's help. We're done! Yoro looks a little tired, all tangled up in some mysterious cable, but her eyes glitter as she lets out a victory roar. I'm so tired! All that's left is to do is turn her on. Done? What about debugging? Anya asks with concern in her voice. She sounds a little tired too. Yoro did say that she got Anya's help. Nobody debugs anymore. That's what all the cool developers say. They definitely don't. Looks like a lot has happened while I was asleep. I must have been out for a long time. My stomach starts to gurgle in hunger. Excuse me, as if to prove just how long it's been. I'm sure I can get it done before it's time to eat. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Let's start the installation. Yoro loudly types on the keyboard, starting the installation. I look at the back of the cleaning robot. It's connected to the computer with a thick cable that looks like a water pipe. Several lights of different colors flicker on and off on the cleaning robot before all the lights shut off. Beep. That's the same beep I heard earlier. Beep, 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 beep. Oh, that's a new one. This time lets out a bunch of short, rapid beep, beep, beeps. It's a little annoying, but despite all that noise, her head's still asleep. Looks like everything's going to be just peachy. See, you can trust me. After Yoro says that, the beeping changes to a more musical pattern. And then suddenly... her eyes open. She looks somehow gentle, just like in the movie, but not passive. Her eyes are brimming with confidence. Even someone with hazy memory like me can tell that her image is a perfect reproduction. She has the youthful looks only available to women on the cusp of adulthood, but she also has a certain sort of refined dignity that makes you want to protect her. Anyone who sees her would have the word fascinating burned into their minds. Regardless of the details of what exactly they'd find fascinating about her, she's so fascinating it's almost destructive. As a result, the state of her body below the neck is such a pity. Suddenly, she loses her complexion and nearly tears her own head off. Looks like she's finally realized what happened to her. She's been fused to a vacuum cleaner. Congratulations! Yoro speaks from behind her. Her neck turns at an inhuman angle and speeds to look at Yoro. She lets out the lowest, heaviest beep yet. She then tackles Yoro with the force that no cleaning robot should ever need. When is her final form? As Yoro lies sprawled out helplessly on the floor, the robot relentlessly pinches her face with an arm extending out of the chassis. The beautiful girl-faced robot lets out a flurry of wild beeps as she proceeds to physically punish Yoro. This is getting brutal. So she can't talk, huh? She's not built to. Her voice synthesizer module is in her chest, I believe. Oh, I see. Hey, stop talking, help me out. Ow, ow! Well, you're just reaping what you sowed. I mean, I get how she feels, but let's leave it at that for now. I nervously approach her. Can you blame me? I've never dealt with a murderous woman-headed vacuum cleaner before, and touch her body. It's cold and metallic. Hard to believe her soul is in something this inorganic. I mean, she wants to go to Aleski, right? Oh, we need to plan out how we're going to do that. I decided to change the topic. She lets out a few intermittent beeps that sound somehow disappointed. Yoru. You want me to translate? Sure. If you didn't stick the head on... If you didn't stick the head on, I could have at least strategically disguised myself as a cleaning robot, you know. You think, you idiot, think! Ow! I try to soothe the woman-headed vacuum cleaner as I ask a quite logical question. Why did you do that anyway? I can't see how it was necessary. That's exactly why I did it. Try straightening your side a little bit. See what pops out. The air-pinching Yoro stops moving. The head puts on an expression of sudden realization and... Whoa, watch it! Woohoo! Now try the other side. And the lower left, too. Yoro cheers. The robot beeps in response as arms armed with arms pop out of the vacuum cleaner chassis, each weapon more dangerous than the last. An electric saw, a blowtorch, an over-the-top machine gun, and I'm not sure what that green light-emitting gun-shaped thing is, but you probably wouldn't want to touch it. What the hell did this girl do? Didn't you make that thing, Anya? Yeah, I did install the self-defense weapons, but the processor's throughput meant only one weapon could be used at a time. Plus, it only worked in low precision mode. That's why I gave it a flamethrower, since those don't exactly need precision, Anya holds in a whisper. Or adds in a whisper. I figured it'd be good enough for self-defense. I mean, its main function is cleaning after all, but the situation has clearly changed. Anya lets out a gasp. When I ask, what's wrong, she smiles and speaks unusually quickly, as if she'd been waiting for me to ask. The technologically advanced head Alec made is attached to it, so she's using the head's main processor. It's an insanely high-powered monster-class processor necessary to reproduce the vast number of functions of a human body. Of freaking course it can control the weapons with ultra high precision. The robot must have heard this. She let out a high-pitched beep. And then a gunshot. A certain figurine placed on Alesky's work desk gets blown away. Now she can use her installed weapons with a 100% efficiency. No, concerning her capability to autonomously strategize, she can use them to 9,999% efficiency. The beeping overlaps with Anya's excited voice. The robot's laughing. I can tell that much by her facial expression. After all, looking at her face, I can only hear the inorganic beeping as laughter. Well, that's pretty much it. You're welcome. Now if you'll excuse me. Well, that goes to show just how precise his weapons are. The robot hovers somewhat gracefully out of the room, apparently satisfied in exacting revenge for being made into an uncanny woman-headed vacuum cleaner. Where is she going? I guess it should be obvious. I call out to the cleaning robot. Robot's back. Is it called a stern? I feel like I have to. She stops hovering and then she beeps. That probably means what? I'm glad to meet you. Good luck. I didn't think of anything to say, so I end up working out some polite but awkward platitudes. I wonder what's gotten into me. After a few seconds, she lets out a staggered 3 or 4 beeps. Without waiting for my response, she starts moving again. I guess she doesn't want to talk anymore. What'd she say? When I ask her for a translation, Yura lets out an exhausted sigh. Something like, "You're a good kid. Dumb, but good. Oh, and? I'll talk with you again if I feel like it." So that's what she's like, huh? That's what she's like. She's kinda rude, huh? It's like she's on a high horse. A high hovering horse. But even so, that just goes to show you how she's got an individual personality. At least, and I think that's important to note. Okay, so do we follow her? Anya speaks up as I'm thinking to myself. Yeah, that seems like the proper thing to do. Well, we better wake up this girl, that is. Anya says that with a bit of a chuckle. I look at the folder finding Yura sleeping on the floor. And until just recently had a robot to clean up after it. She must be deathly tired. She did look sleepy now that I think about it. Maybe we should wait a bit first. Sorry, but I'm not as gentle with Yura as you are, Anya. Anya and I, with Yura in tow, follow the trail in the snow left by the vacuum cleaner. The excess force of anti-gravity leaves a faint single line in stark contrast to the footsteps left by our bipedal walking. She must be heavy, huh? I think she's a normal weight. It's fine. Yura was so tired I was unable to wake her up no matter how hard I tried. That's why I'm carrying her as we walk. But if you think about it, this might be for the best. Considering the difference in stamina between me and Anya, it'd probably be too hard for her. Anyway, it really feels like that vacuum cleaner has gotten ahead in life, huh? Ahead in life? I know it's not exactly the right phrase, but that thing was originally going to be scrapped. Huh? But it's so amazing. I may have mentioned this before, but Alec and I made that thing. I think I remember hearing that. You see, a famous rich person came to our workshop and commissioned a one-off vacuum cleaner. The offer was pretty generous, so due to certain circumstances, we ended up outsourcing the software to Alec. Had you met Alexei at all before that point? Nope. I don't have many personal connections, and his personality is like the embodiment of everything wrong with engineers, you know? I was a little worried if it'd be okay to work with him, but I figured he does do his job properly. Alexei certainly is a serious worker at heart, I think. He did go to work on time while we were at his house, but that might have just been a cover so the church wouldn't find out. He was so skilled it came as a shock, even to me. When you're that skilled, I can kind of let a few personality flaws slide, I guess. He eventually opened up to me a bit, so I teased him about how overly serious he was at first. Anya stops walking and looks at me directly. Then he had the gall to say, "I realized I could take it easy if I just didn't look at you as a woman." So I hit him with a wrench. She gestures the motion of hitting something with a blunt object before letting out a cackle. He definitely is that sort of guy, huh? Yeah, so we finished the cleaning robot, but as you'd expect, the customer demanded a retake as soon as they saw it. They wanted more luxurious functionality, or more chic design. A bunch of worthless complaining, basically. Business is business, so we asked if we could fix it with minimal adjustments, but Anya, realizing that she had stopped walking, starts taking a few steps before continuing to talk, her eyes fixed ahead of her. Alec was there with us, and she suddenly burst into tears, saying, "How cruel can you be?" Oof. Oof indeed. Makes you think he's fragile, right? Well, that's what I thought too. But then he said, "How can you say that in front of her? Don't you care how she feels?" He wasn't crying for himself. It's not like the vacuum cleaner had an AI at that point, did it? Of course not. But he seriously snapped at the lack of consideration for her feelings. That's crazy, right? He was crying too. Is there something wrong with his head? Anya talks the way a boy talks about a comic book hero. That is, without any hint of scorn, just admiration, trust, and praise. Furthermore, he said, getting up from his chair, "This robot is like a child built by me and this other engineer. Do you insult children in front of their parents? Do you?" Sounds like Alesky was shouting through the tears, indignant that the customer was mad when he was the one who should be mad instead. Anya continues. "You dress so classy for someone who acts so trashy." The customer got mad enough to just leave without paying. I understand how he felt. I'm impressed he could say all that. Can't say it was effective, though. Honestly, if it were me, I might have thrown hands. Alexei must have worked so hard he probably devotes his whole body and soul for paid commissions. It's all just my imagination, of course, but based on everything I know about Alexei, I think I've got the idea of how he felt. I guess that must be what Anya likes about him. Several days after that, he said, "I'll take good care of her," and bought it with his own money. We started talking once we'd see each other again for aftermarket service. So it's got some good sides to him after all, huh? He sure does. He's got way more bad sides, though. That said, this isn't really the time to talk about this. Anyway, please save our child if you can. Of course. Huh? Oh snap, that girl just used more than 3 weapons at the same time, didn't she? We arrive at the explosion epicenter and find a small crater. A little bit of the foundation remains of what appears to have been an annex close to the church. I bet a lot of things have happened here, more than I could possibly imagine. Is she not supposed to use more than 3? Well, the generator might be under control. The limiter becomes ineffective under a heavy load. I mean, look, she's using the same energy source as the car we all rode on that one time. After all, It's peaky, but powerful, you know? If you don't even need to charge it. So when the car we were riding on exploded, must have left a crater like this too, huh? Anya gasps, followed behind her. I follow behind her while carrying Yoru, who's still asleep. I follow Anya's gaze and find what caught her attention. Alec, your legs! Your ass! Wow! Anya! Lexi has lost almost his entire lower body. He probably doesn't have long, but he's so excited when he sees us, it seems like he doesn't even care about death. She came here. I met her. She tried to save me, but then she overheated. Alec, don't talk, you'll lose blood. His eyes sparkling, Alexei continues, ignoring even Anya's plea for him to stop. The way she fought was so beautiful, it's a pity you couldn't see. It would have been worth recording. It's just a shame I can't sell it on disc. By the time the Inquisitors fired their first shot, she had already swept up two of them. It was amazing. Battle heroines are so cool. I can't help but wonder. She was his creation, right? Isn't he going to say something about how she'd suddenly been installed on a vacuum cleaner? I can't speak for him, but I can imagine him not caring in the slightest if her body is organic or not. The truth of the matter is, his creation came to save him without any regard for herself. In Lesky's eyes, that what matters isn't if your body is human-shaped or vacuum cleaner shaped, but rather what you do with that body. After all, Alesky's area of expertise is software, what's inside rather than hardware, what's outside. That said, what I think is most Alexei part of this whole situation is how he's prioritizing praising her efforts rather than mourning her loss. Have you ladies ever seen a battle robot heroine in action? Of course not. Suckers! Wow. Alec, sheesh, you're always such a handful, huh? All the excitement surely must have shortened his remaining time, but for some reason I find it a charming sight to see Anya fussing over Alexei and holding the upper half of his body as he coughs up blood. I'm scared. Scared? What could possibly scare someone like you, Alec? I'm scared. Of death. It's hard to make out the words. Alexei squeezes out. On closer inspection, his already pale face is getting even paler. At this point, he's almost like a corpse that forgot he was dead. Don't worry, you'll come back soon. You don't know that. What if I'm the only one who doesn't revive? That's so... Look, you'll be fine. I died myself a while back, but I'm back, see? I'm scared. Excuse me, burping. Please give me some comfort. This is getting kind of awkward. I really don't like the way he said that. I'm also starting to get tired of carrying Yoru. We finished what we came here to do, so I wish Alec would just hurry up and kick the bucket already. Men want women to be a mother figure for them, especially in times of weakness. If Anya acts like a mother now, this could be your big chance. Whoa, you're awake? Your back is just so comfortable, Sayoko. Yoru clings tightly to my back as she says that. I decide to leave Alexei alone until he dies, so I can watch and pray that Anya can be a proper mother figure or whatever. You can't just sit on the sidelines, Sayoko, knowing Anya, she needs your advice. Huh? Oh, Anya, be a good mother, be open-minded. Huh? Mother, what are you talking about? They say if you act motherly when a man is weak, he'll fall for you. Motherly? I don't know what that means. Pa. Alesky murmurs something, but his voice is too weak. Anya asks him to repeat himself, and he speaks up a little more clearly. What's her face? The blonde one? Huh? You mean Pacifica? What about her? You can't pull it off, Anya. But I think Pacifica could give me some comfort. She seems so reliable. Like a mother is usually strict, but will gently tuck you into bed when you catch a cold. So, Without even waiting for him to finish, Anya hurls Alesky's half-body into the crater. Alesky's already lightweight body has been cut in half, so it should be easy to throw him, even for someone small like Anya. I can hear Alesky's body sliding down the slope of the crater. Whoa, he really fell for you into the hole! Can you quit joking around and get off me? Anya urges us to move on right as I manage to shake off Yoro. Let's go. The crowd's starting to form. When I look around, the crowd's still thin, but ghosts are starting to gather around to see if everything's okay. Some of them must be church followers, too. In any case, I don't want to stay here too long. What's with all the explosions lately? When I hear that crowd of ghosts having conversations like these, I can't help but smile wryly. They've got a point. Are we going to call Pacifica? Do you want to call her? Anya's threatening response lacks her usual blend of friendliness and charm as she glares at Yoro with the sharpness of a knife. The shock causes Yoro to take a step back and mumble, which is quite a precious sight for me to see. Wait, no, I shouldn't just watch. Sorry, Anya. I'll be sure to kill Yoro for you later. She'll get her just desserts. I'm so sorry about that. I consider prostrating myself before Anya's facial expression suddenly slackens. Oh, I was just joking. Don't worry about it. I just feel like I've been in a traffic accident. You two feel the same way, don't you? Yoro says, oh, okay, and starts giggling again, so I slap her ass before I follow Anya, who's already starting to walk off. Pacifica's not the motherly type. Men like him just like to delude themselves into having the wrong impression of her. He doesn't have a discerning eye, huh? There's a reason why he's not popular. Thus closes the curtain on our mission to get technical help for crossing the snow desert. Whether ended in success or failure, we can't tell. It's not our call to make. After all, the decision lies with... Oh? ED time! Oh! Jeez. Oh, that was 3 hours. Holy smokes. Thank you all for gathering today. Alexi's house looks like a mess, probably because the automatic cleaning robot's gone. The workshop's even more of a mess than when we first came here. We sit on random boxes and large cans and such as we talk with Alexi. We had gathered at Alexi's house a few days after his bisection. I think that's a Pacifica's face. She hadn't had much to do with this whole mission, so... Excuse me. Why didn't you call me? I would have abandoned work in a heartbeat to come help you. She's been this huffing mad ever since we gathered. It's been making me feel a bit uneasy. You ladies helped me. Now it's my turn to help you. Thank you, Alec. Don't mention it. I'm only doing what's expected of me. I steal another glance at Pacifica's face. To be honest, when Anya contacted us, she already told us that Alec was going to help, so this meeting is kind of like watching a movie after hearing spoilers. That's what it feels like anyway. So I'm way more interested in seeing how Pacifica feels. I can't help but wonder what her take on all this matter is. So do you have a plan? Let's hear it. As Anya urges Alexi, It makes me feel like she truly is the moderator of this meeting. Despite all of the dumb things that have happened lately, she still does her best to give both us and Alexei proper care and respect. It's touching. Oh, right. I do have a plan. Want to hear it? I want to hear it. Euro answers loudly. She initially seemed to have her doubts about Alexei, but it doesn't look that way anymore. She looks like the usual sociable Euro. I'd had a complicated conversation with Euro ever since the night we went to dispose of Clara's dead body. I wonder if that has anything to do with it. As I space out, Alexei clears his throat to start speaking. I concentrate my scattered focus into one point, and I listen closely to what Alexei has to say. First of all, from what I heard from Anya, there's a huge oversight in your lady's plan. The part where you're going somewhere without knowing where. That's no good. You're basically lowering your own chances for success. We don't know where we're going, so what do you expect us to do? We don't have a map or GPS, so we figured our only option was to go aimlessly. Pacific answers with the tone of someone asked to add two-digit numbers. Yes, that's it. The reassuring feeling that Pacifica gives off. Just being in her presence makes me feel twice as powerful. Oh, really? Alexei grins, sticks out his index finger and points up. They only have 4 fingers. 3 fingers and a thumb. We all look at the ceiling. It's high up and has fancy lights, which makes me think, wow, this really is a nice house. But that's it. I don't really get what we're supposed to be looking at. My thinking is that before you look outwards, you should look upwards. Pacifica gasps. I still don't get it. Maybe you're not concentrating hard enough. We'll launch a rocket! It's true we have no maps, nor satellites to rely on in this town. Radio waves are also a non-starter in that case. We just have to make maps of our own. We launch a rocket and get a bird's eye view. Once we know the surrounding terrain and distances, that's when we can finally stand at the starting line. Wow. I'm easily impressed, but I really do think it's impressive. He's got a point. We may have been a little too haphazard with our approach. Alexei's brain quickly noticed our plan's weak spot, and that was that was in our blind spot, and gave a suggestion to rectify it. This might actually work. I'm honestly excited. So that's what you were thinking, huh? Pacifica speaks without any change in her tone at all. Alexei must have been expecting some sort of reaction, too, as he just mumbles, "Yeah," in response. Meanwhile, hearing Pacifica's voice sends my inner monologue into overdrive. Building a rocket would be difficult, wouldn't it? But then again, they did manage to build a robot. Kinda. It's a good plan, I'd say. The air of tension instantly dissipates, and I realize that I've forgotten to breathe. Looks like Anya's the same way, as I can see her shoulders move as she takes a deep breath. There's no way a plan can fail if Alexei's thought it up and Pacific has given her approval. At least that's what I think. I'm sure Anya approves of the plan too, but that just leaves one person. Hey, what's with that look, Sayako? It's a rocket we're talking about. Rockets are cool! They are, as long as they don't explode, that is. Well, you know what they say, toast lands butter side down, so you gotta make sure the toast doesn't fall. I just did that this morning. Oh yeah, that was a huge explosion, huh? Hey, stop jinxing it. We're all unanimously in favor of Alexei's plan, but he says we need to regroup at a later date after he works out the finer details. We have no real reason to refuse, so we accept his proposal. He then pretty much kicks us out, but doesn't feel bad at all. As for why, there's a cafe we like to go to, so let's hold our next meeting over there. I've never been to a cafe before. Just come with us and check it out. We need to learn more about each other. Oh, okay. I suppose you're right. It's probably because I get to hear that conversation as we leave the house, since I'm at the back of the line. When I speak up, Alexei quietly offers me a seat, acting as if he knew I wanted to talk. I tell him that I want to keep it short, specifically when the others are waiting for me outside. In response, he asks me what's wrong. Are you sure about this? Obviously, I'm referring to how the life Alexei was trying to bring into this world came to an abrupt end. In the end, she couldn't use the body you worked so hard to create, and she even broke the body she did end up using, and now she's gone. I think we failed you, so I didn't expect you to help us. If you do think we failed and are still helping us out of some sense of obligation, then... Why so negative, lol? Who are you, me? Alexei laughs out loud after saying that. I'd rather not listen to his guffawing for another second, so I press him to continue. Please don't mock me. I wanted to be helpful in the end. Well, yeah, I definitely had regrets when I had my lower half blown off. For one, I regretted asking you ladies for help. Do you remember what happened back then? How Anya looked after you? A little bit. You were there too, weren't you? Honestly, my memory is a little hazy. Did I say something strange? No, not really. Please continue. I woke up at the garbage dump, and... yeah, death's not actually that big a deal, huh? Easy peasy. Then I went home. There's evidence that someone used my workshop. I knew right away that it was your roommate. Well, yeah. That's when I did a system check, and I found a letter from her hidden somewhere in the server. That's when I knew the experiment was a success. I don't know if I should ask, but what did the letter say? Liski says, "Oh, it's nothing, really," before continuing to tell me anyway. She said, "Obviously, don't even think of trying to make another me. That should go without saying." Oh, that's nice. The last thing she told me was that I was dumb, so that sounds like a believable letter. That said, I feel like she's got a surprising amount of love for Alexei. At least that's the impression I got from that little time I spent with her. Nice? Alexei looks at me with his eyes popped wide open. Sorry, I stumble with my words. His face starts to warp in ecstasy. I want to get out of here. I guess he really is a dreadful person after all. Moe! Huh? That was incredibly moe, you know. I'm glad you came. That's a word from your home country, right? She started with obviously and ended with that should go without saying, really emphasizing her point, you know. That's a cliche among advanced AI heroines, but what makes that's what makes them so classic, you know. You really do need counseling soon. This is what moe means, right? It's gotta be I won in your face, suckers. Who did you win against exactly? Every otaku's ever dreamed of romance with artificial intelligence. Congratulations. This is what the world was meant for. Was it really romance, though? Maybe it was familial love or something. But then again, I can't just imagine Yoro saying, what men perceive as romance isn't necessarily romance, while giving me a thumbs up. I see. Makes sense. Are you gonna remake her once things have calmed down? And a jerk would see something like that and have the gall to think they could make a sequel. I let out a small sigh of relief. Alexei's motivations may be beyond my grasp, but at least he's not completely unreasonable. What I gained and lost here was both life and death. I was able to create both. It may have been excommunicated by the church, but it looks like I've been spared by God. For now. Despite his triumphant words, Alexei's face quickly darkens. I thought he'd long since stopped caring about reproducing God's work. To create life is to have ambitions for the future. To create death is to obtain a certain sort of repose. As I created her, I thought I could help out ghosts in that regard. I was conceited. Yes, he did indeed mention that when he was creating her. But now that I've lost her, I realize that death is sad, and I can't ever see her again. I can't ever reclaim her. I can't even thank her for all she's done. Makes me want to and hero. But I'm not in enough pain to actually die. We're not designed poorly enough that we just die because of that. Well, I can't even. But then again, we don't die for any reason, to be honest. Or TBH. I think about her before I sleep, even though I know I can't sleep when I think about her. When I finally do go to sleep, I dream of her, and each time I wake up I feel despair. Somehow, I just know this will continue forever. Alexi's truly grieving. It's disorienting how much it feels like someone actually died. I feel like I've lost someone close to me once in the far distant past, too. No idea who or when that was. But I just get the feeling. I can't figure it out. Bat. Alexei turns around and sits at his desk, but he doesn't touch his keyboard or mouse. His chair creaks, and then he cries. Despite getting beaten to death literally and emotionally, I'm glad I got to meet her. I feel that something like this has happened before. I'm just guessing here. As a woman just like her, but I'm pretty sure I did something similar back then, too. Just as she was special to you, I feel like you were special to her. I'm sure she was glad she got to meet you. Or maybe I wanted to, but couldn't. Honestly, I wanted to talk with her again, too. When she felt like it, that is. I don't think there's any need for me to say that, though, so I leave that as a mental note. I should get going already. I head back to my friends with this at the center of Alexei's sobs at my back. Once I get to the entrance. Sayoko, you really are such a good girl. Huh? Pacifica embraces me with tears welling in her eyes. What you said was so touching, Sayoko, so tear-jerking. What was your secret to delivering such iconic lines? Do you take notes or something? Only gives me a round of applause. Alex said it was romance, but what men perceive as romance isn't necessarily romance, you know. You already said that. Huh? This conversation is getting out of hand, so I slip out of Pacifica's arms and kick open the front door and rush outside. Okay, let's go home already. Everyone turns around and starts running their mouths as they run after me. I'm not comfortable leading the group, so I let Pacifica take the lead. I stop in my tracks, close my eyes, and take a deep breath. The pitch-black world spreading out behind my eyelids reminds me of the specter of death looming around Alexei's house. I feel that what Alexei experienced was only one side of death. In death, there are those who are the dearly departed, and those who are departed and who the departed hold dear. Alexei is the latter. In fact, as long as he is a ghost, he can never truly become the former. The same goes for me. I think about the other side of death, the side that I can never reach. But what if I could? I could have been shot to death when I went to save Yoru, blown to bits in the car explosion when we tried to leave town, or impaled through the head by Renja's spider. Any of those things would have been the end for me. I wouldn't have been able to save anyone, but I wouldn't have to suffer anymore. Nothing could threaten me anymore. I can feel the darkness behind my eyelids sink into my heart. I've been caught in the allure of death and cannot escape its grasp. Death is all too peaceful. As someone who cannot die, the allure of death is spine-chilling. Could it be that I want... Sayoko! A bundle of warmth slams into me, almost causing me to tumble over. Whoa! I stumble back a few steps. I open my eyes to find Yoru. What's wrong, Sayoko? Let's go home. Saying that, she holds my hand. It's not warm at all. Her hand is as cold as mine. It's cold outside, after all. A few meters behind Yoru Pacifica... A few meters behind Yoru stands Pacifica and Anya, my precious, precious friends, smiling at me. I smile back. I'm a little sleepy and hungry. We laugh. Yoru pulls me by the hand as we leap into the laughter. Death isn't an attractive concept to me. The peacefulness of death grabs my attention and won't let go. But I don't think I'm in any rush to die. I mean, just look at everything I have to cherish. That's just naturally how I feel. That's how I feel despite everything that I am. I really do feel that way. I'm happy and that I can feel that way. I wish that I could feel this way forever. I wish... That's now my dream. In my dreams I can get out. In my dreams I can fit in. There's a fence. Huh. Interesting. Oh boy. Oh. We did it, and my throat hurts. Aliski's voice hurt real bad. Man, that's 2.5 hours? Or 3.5 hours for just the last chapter? Holy crap. That was cool. Oh. Well, we finally finished the game. I thought we finished it in, what, October? Oh. We did it. Man, don't stop talking for 3.5 hours. Oh boy. Voices. Me, I do all the voices. Oh. It's cool that they do the question marks. That's sweet. The old man, Margaret, cheering in episode 4. Sure, sweetheart. That's okay, Ting. That's okay. I understand. Cutscenes, OPED, interstitials assisting, debugging. Nobody does debugging anymore. Motion. Oh man, that was cool. Oh, I don't know if there's anything after credits. New games are. It's the line from the game. It said no putty debugs anymore. That's what all the cool developers say anyway. Man, I'm exhausted. Man, episode 5 took us 3.5 hours. Holy smokes, I was not expecting it to be this long. Oh, oh, we finished another game, but it was worth it. Yes, this game was so good. It's so good. It's so good. Oh man, I can't do a Leski's voice anymore. I gotta like sleep. I feel like I was losing my voice there earlier, but no, it's still here. I hope season 2 comes out soon. I don't think it's been announced, but you know, I want more. Oh, we're not done. It's been a long journey, but who would have thought I'd get this far? The train started in a land far, far away, heading even farther. But all, but all journeys must come to an end. I sit by myself in a small seat and clench my fist. I'll see you soon. Inside the train, the clattering of the railroad ties gets suddenly drowned out by an announcement. The announcement: the train will soon arrive at the next station, the terminal. I make sure I've got my single travel bag as I look out the window. The setting sun seems to weigh down the horizon as I spot a long, sprawling fence that almost looks like a solid wall. I've heard many times before that this town was surrounded by a fence, so I already knew about it. She's on the other side of that fence. Just thinking about it makes my heart feel like it's on fire. I've had to sacrifice so many things in order to come here, but it just makes the journey all the more valuable. It feels like the whole world has existed solely to lead up to this day. Look away, Cheng! Look away! I think those thoughts. I think those thoughts as I watch the town's perimeter fence slowly approach. It's dark by the time I get out of the station. A cold breeze blows and I suddenly want to go home. Look away, Cheng! This is a ghost town. It's certainly lonely enough to have earned that name. Despite my reluctance, I quickly remember why I came here. To fulfill her wish. It's a promise I have to keep. I whisper to myself. I've come to see you. Hmm. Interesting. Thank you for reading. Thank you for reading through the end. Please look forward to the story's continuation. Oh boy, am I looking forward to it. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Sorry, is this music in the game before? For season 2? Yep. I'm just gonna listen to this music real quick. Woo! Alright. There we go. That's GHOSTPIA. That's GHOSTPIA for you. We've finally finished. Thank you, Nimbus, for contributing 2K to the challenge and sup. Thank you, Fern. Thank you, Fern. Sorry, I can't see that on mobile. I'm so sorry. All right, let's find someone to raid. The game released last year, so I imagine it probably won't be this year. Maybe it will. I don't know. All right, who do we got? We have Jiro. I kind of want to raid Barry because I haven't raided Barry in a bit. Sucrose is playing Lethal Company though. That's funny. um, All right, we're gonna rate Barry because I haven't. She's okay. So I should say this. Okay. Do you guys want Little Kitty, Big City, Lethal Company? Um, yeah. Do you guys want Little Kitty, Big City, or Lethal Company? I think we'll just rate Barry. Unless who else is live? Is Mara still alive? I doubt Mara is still alive. Yeah, he's not. Thank you for being here, Chang. Thank you for the lurk. I understand it wasn't the most active stream, but I had thought we finished the game. We didn't. So, um, all right, we're gonna rate Barry. She's playing a cat game. Oh boy, I will see you guys tomorrow for Slime Rancher. Good night, Chang. I'm gonna go find something to munch on and go to bed. That was exhausting. Oh man, but that was fun. That was fun. I enjoyed that a lot. I understand that was the last chapter, and it's been a long time since we last played it. So, um, yeah, and it's just me reading. So, um, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. There wasn't too much. Oh well, I guess the ending was kind of spoilery. Um, but yeah, I'm excited. I am excited for the second season whenever that happens. But yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna drink some water and rest my voice because man, this voice really it beats up my throat. It beats up my throat. So I will see you guys tomorrow. And I love you all. Good night. Brush your teeth. Be nice to Barry. She's playing that cat game. Um. Bye bye. See you tomorrow. Good night. Mwah.